Obviously, I didn't have very many big ones, but the fact that I can't reel one off.
Well, you were mostly a starter. That's part of the reason. The 0-2 here to Zoris. Detmers wanted that. He really needed that. He didn't get it.
And this is one of those breaking balls. It puts the umpire in a tough position. It starts so far out of the zone and then comes all the way back. Does it ever get back to the corner? Henry Davis and Reed Detmer certainly wanted it.
That was called a strike earlier in the game. Remember that high strike he called earlier with the catcher standing up?
All right, checking on the Crimson here. Devin Peterson is at the plate for Harvard, facing Jimmy Wang on the mound for UConn. It's a 7-0 game. That's one out. The base is loaded. So we want to give that one a peek here in that elimination game.
The intelligent move for Harvard would be for them to score here.
See what you did there. Swing and a miss in Louisville. But how about Jeremy Gaines? Pinch hit, two-run double. And he was a tad excited there at second base. Let's go to Oklahoma City.
Stuff is great, but it doesn't matter what that looks like unless you can locate. And going back to Harvard and their game against Oklahoma State, the Harvard players were asked what the difference was between facing Ivy League pitching and pitching from the Big 12, and it was control. Just the command of all pitches that they saw from Jensen Elliott and Peyton Battenfield. And Wang struggling with that command right now. Full count, one out. It's already been 2 walks this inning.
As an ex-hitter myself, one of the things, I would much rather face a guy that had good command than a guy that was erratic with command, because you never know when he's going to stun you with a great pitch.
Two walks, a single, and a strikeout. Back-to-back walks, the third of the inning, and Harvard, for the first time in this regional, is on the board. And Jim Penders has seen enough. That will do it for Jimmy Wang.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios you would love to have gotten some link when you're in this elimination bracket. But UConn has to make a move. We'll give you the new pitcher when we get back.
Let's go to Corvallis. This is how the bottom of the 5th ended. Right field.
Wow.
Look at that catch. Will Robertson saving a run. We go to Corvallis again. CU up 2.
Man, that one's up and in. That's the thing. Sometimes you look at what a player did last year as opposed to this year, and what you don't figure in is the improvement or the performance that player was able to put in one of the college summer leagues, whether it's the North League, North Woods League, the Cape Cod League. There are so many really good summer leagues for college players that, guys who don't get a lot of at-bats as a freshman or sophomore will go and play a full summer and come back and step on campus a much improved or different player than when he left campus. Collins hits that ball to left center field, hits it pretty well. Casey's after it, won't get it, hops up against the wall. Good speed with Isaac Collins, racing around second, headed for third, high throw, he's in there with a triple. 7th triple this year. He led the Big East in triples.
Isaac Collins again off the leadoff spot. Now watch, one thing about him that is great, he knows the play is all in front of him. There's no looking at his coach. This is all on him. It's his decision. And it's the right decision.
Collins with a home run and a triple in that game. Texas Tech underway with DBU. That's in the top of the second. That's a winner's bracket game. Baylor and Omaha bottom left. Bottom right. UC Santa Barbara is trailing 4-1. Tommy Jew had essentially a base hit, infield hit, was sprinting down the first base line. His foot appeared to land awkwardly on the first base bag as he was coming into contact with the first baseman as well. We'll call it a lower leg injury. He immediately reached for the umpire for some almost looked like comfort/time. And I don't believe they've shown a replay on it, but it looked very nasty. And they've got the card out there for him. Bases loaded there in the top of the sixth. That's an elimination game there.
Boy, that's, I mean, you feel for Tommy Jew, and that is a huge loss for UCSB. He is a tremendous player and has been that way since day one at Santa Barbara.
One of the leading base stealers in the Big West as well. Looks like Baylor's going to add to their lead. 2 runs come in. 6-2 Bears over Omaha. So you got 2 schools from Omaha there going at it in the quad box. Creighton with a 3-1 lead on Oregon State. And the Mavericks trailing 6-2. Take 2 of those out. We'll get you back out to Stanford when they resume play.
Texas Tech is up 3-0 already. The game started 5 seconds ago. I mean, it's just unreal how offensive they are.
Isaac Collins stranded on third after the 2-out triple. So let's go to Lubbock now. 3-0, 2 on, 1 out.
A chance to drop fair into the corner, a foul ball. As if in unison, on command, everybody down the third base line in the seats stood up to try and poke their head over the barrier to see if that was going to drop in. Jared Bayless warming up in the DBU bullpen as Martinson is working deep into the count here against his 7th Red Raider of the inning.
No struggle for Martinson this inning. Just playing catch out there in the bullpen.
Here comes his 35th pitch of the inning. Strike 3. Bending the edges of the strike zone. Holt a little surprised as he turns away, looking at home plate ump Kellen Levy on the way back to the dugout.
I think surprise is because Martinson hasn't thrown a pitch there tonight. It's a perfect pitch on the inside corner. It's on the plate. Really good pitch by Martinson and a big pitch for him in that situation.
So it's been a long and laborious inning for Martinson. Can be just 3 runs if he can retire Tanner Otremba as he did last inning with a ground out to third. But if he's going to have a longer outing, it's the breaking ball that he's got to be able to get some command on.
Well, it's been over the plate too much. That's it. Maybe he needs to be off the plate with it, bury it in the turf. The base hits in the game, they only have 3 base hits, and they've all been on that breaking ball, just catching too much plate.
Throw to first. Out at first base. Iser comes up in the clutch for DBU.
Cameron Warren, by the way, a 2-run blast for Texas Tech, his second home run in as many days for the Red Raiders. Our first look at the number 10 overall seed, East Carolina. Yesterday got somewhat washed out, and so now the Pirates taking the field against Quinnipiac. How would you rate their helmets with the Q?
Oh, that's a 20 to 80 scale, 80 being best there ever was. Easy 80. Never seen a Q on a baseball hat or helmet before, and it's just amazing. Their Twitter handle, The Q Baseball, that's even better.
Quinnipiac, one of the 3 teams from the state of Connecticut that are in this field of 64. UConn with a 7-1 lead on Harvard. Central Connecticut State got a win today. Quinnipiac's going to have a go-ahead run in the first.
East Carolina, Matt, just needs to get in a rhythm. They have so much pressure on them. 30th regional appearance, never been to Omaha, hosting a regional again, weather already wreaking havoc. They're going to have big crowds if they can just get into a set schedule. You can see East Carolina, they really pressed in last year's regional.
Meanwhile, Tommy Jew carted off the field, pinch runner at first. Lower leg injury. Won't speculate further than that as he landed on first and simultaneously collided with the leg of the first baseman, it appeared.
It's a little bit different. So much easier up here.
So now Marcus Castanon is at the plate. That's an elimination game between the Gauchos and the Hornets.
So it just won out. The ECU defense.
That is Big West versus WAC.
Bounces again. Good job this time by Washer.
Score one.
Keep it in front of him. That was outstanding. That's about a 54-footer.
Tommy Jew, a huge loss for Santa Barbara, but I would almost be surprised if they don't come back and get this game. Santa Barbara's too good of a club, too much pitching. This game has the feel of them settling in and coming back and getting this thing.
You spoke to the Bobcats during the workout sessions.
Quinnipiac, the champs out of the MAAC. First appearance in 14 years and had to wait an extra day because of the rain.
Bounce to first.
1-0 Bobcats.
Good for the Bobcats. No harm, no foul if you're East Carolina. Interesting, Cliff Godwin of East Carolina electing to save his ace, Jake Agnos, for the second game. That's good directing. I said Cliff Godwin. They show Cliff Godwin.
They've got you mic'd up there in the
director can't even hear me.
That's very good. Our director doesn't want to hear you, and that director can't hear you.
2016.
Fair enough.
By the way, Illinois State with a 4-2 lead going into the 8th inning on the number 7 seed Louisville.
Yeah, he did. That's what you want to do with one out. You can't.
That's a winner's bracket game.
Out in that situation. And with the defense conceding that
other great winners bracket games coming up tonight. Arkansas and TCU, one of those.
Nick Lodolo going to be a rich man on Monday when he's a first-round pick, and he will try to take down Arkansas tonight.
Another one bounced in the dirt by Kuchmaner. Vogelmer, the junior third baseman, hit 270 with 8 home runs and 52 RBIs.
I mean, those Quinnipiac uniforms are just off the charts awesome.
Right now, so that's going to bring a visit from the ECU dugout. Just
going to be a mound visit there.
Just a little bit.
Kyle Johnson at the plate for the Gauchos.
Dan Roselle is the
so
ECU
nobody on base there. So let's go to Stanford here in the top of the 6th.
8 balls, 8 strikes thus far.
It's a right-handed pitcher. I'm going to be thinking fly ball to left center. I'm going to keep this off the ground, let that ball get deep in the zone, and I'm going to hit something out, that 375 mark out there in left field. Keep me on the ball. You'll take a sac fly here. Base hit's a bonus. Good pitch to jam him in.
So full count, 3-2.
A lot of stuff going on right here. You could have a ball in the dirt.
How big would a strikeout be for Cherby
That
here?
would be the best scenario right here. And you got him 3-2. You got to throw your best pitch. And if you're Johnson, take a little swing out. Like I said, think left center.
Runner takes off, and the pitch is high, ball 4.
We said at the beginning of this inning that one thing that would get Santa Barbara back in this game are walks. It's 2 in the inning. They've only had 2 the previous 5 innings. Be ready to go on that first pitch. Bases loaded, pitcher on the ropes. 1 out. Hunt that fastball, get aggressive early in the count. Same thing here, though, if you're hitting. If you're the right-hander, think right center. I'm going to hit a line drive right over that second baseman's head. You're on the bases. You got to be aware of a line drive. You got to hold your ground. Hit him.
And that ball hit him. Hit Tevin Mitchell right on the shoulder pad. He's fired up. That'll walk in a run. And it's a 1-run game.
That's interesting, though. He didn't really make a move to get out of the way of that ball. We saw that in last night's game. They called the hitter out. I wonder if Sac State will challenge it. From our viewpoint, in real time, it didn't look like he did a whole lot. There you go. Left that elbow hanging out over the plate. I don't really know what the difference is from last night.
Here comes head coach Reggie Christensen.
Have to.
Doesn't look like they're going to challenge. They're just going to go to the bullpen here with the bases loaded and a 1-run game after 2 walks and a hit by pitch from Stone Cherby.
Tough outing for Cherby. Just didn't look like he had it. Wasn't in the zone enough.
We'll go ahead and take a break. UCSB has tacked on 2 so far. Bases are still loaded with 1 out and a pitching change coming up for Sacramento State.
Let's go to Louisville now. 4-2. Illinois State's top 8 winners bracket.
And credit Steve Holm for letting him continue after the 2 spot there in the 6. It would have been easy to pull the plug, but I think he just leaned on number 1. The bullpen wasn't great yesterday, and number 2, they didn't really square him up. There's only been a few hard hit balls in this game, by the way.
The 1-1. Done. Exit foul. Eric Snyder over there in the third base coach's box will field it. Here you see Steve Holm on the left, the head coach for the Redbirds. Easy to see why he was the Valley Coach of the Year. He has really handled this team well this weekend.
This team is well prepared.
But I'm sure he's thinking about his next move. We've seen Colton Johnson loosening up for the last couple innings.
Yeah, he looks like he would be next.
Big left-hander ready to go. This is down below the knees. So now full count to the leadoff man, Lucas Dunn. You've got Jake Snyder on deck.
And of course, if you're Steve Holm, you might go right to your closer here, Jacob Gilmore, and let him take you the rest of the way. Gilmore with 11 saves.
Bunker came right at him. Now we expected what we've seen from Reed Detmers, double-digit strikeouts, pitching deep into the game. But Matt Walker, this has come as a surprise to many.
No doubt about it. This is really a legendary performance by Matt Walker. He will go down in Redbird history. His performance here this evening.
But he walks Dunn, and here comes the dangerous part of the Louisville lineup. The number 2 hitter, Snyder, Fitzgerald, and Wyatt waiting in the wings.
I think you make the move right here. You probably need to get a new arm in there just to show these guys something different.
Magic Mike Rooney with this update. It was 1-0 Quinnipiac. Evan Volgamore. Touch them all.
Volgamore!
Home run, Evan Volgamore.
2-0 Bobcats.
Fear the Q. Fear it.
We'll say our producer Seth already has called the upset. Says Q is winning it. Now the question is, would ECU go 2 in Q?
Hits have been infield singles. Infield drawn in, double play depth. Jake Snyder's dad down in the third base coach's box. Such an integral part of this program for Dan McDonnell. Hitting coach, big on the recruiting side of things.
He knows a lot of these Illinois State players. Used to be the recruiting coordinator at University of Illinois.
The 0-2 outside.
Joe Isles and Jake Snyder grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, that's right.
Went to the same high school. And they are very familiar with this Illinois State roster.
Matt Walker pitching in the 8th, 7 and a third. And he has allowed just the 2 runs to the number 7 national seed after the great start by Brent Hedrick yesterday, who had the career-high 14 strikeouts against Indiana. The 1-2 delivery. Line drive, snared by the first baseman, Jack Butler. He's done it again. That's the second time Butler has caught a line drive and stepped on the bag for a double play. Inning over.
Wow. The beautiful thing about having a left-handed first baseman, the glove takes away the hole, and no way he catches that ball if he's a righty. Butler takes away another hit from the corner.
Jack Butler getting it done. By the way, Creighton with a 3-1 lead in the top of the 7th. They are 29-0 this year when leading after 6 innings. They're one of 16 Division I teams that has not lost when leading after 6 this season. Oregon State, by the way, one of the others. We're in the 7th.
The daily grind of it. But that routine typically gets you in check, ready to go by game time so that you're your normal self. That's the idea.
Way out in front of the breaking ball is Jack Strunz. His at-bat is the biggest at-bat of the ball game, and that was in the 3rd inning. That line drive that just got over the glove of Beaver shortstop Bo Phillip. Knocked in a run. It was mishandled in center by McMahon. And Ed Service never hesitated. He had the runner from first going all the way. And 2 runs came across, and that gave Creighton a 3-0 lead. Prince hits that one, shallow left. Casey was deep, charging in, and he dives and he's not going to get it. It pops up, throw behind the runner at 3rd. Robertson is back in. We have talked about Oregon State and how deep they play their outfield, especially Casey in left field.
And not only is quite deep, he's playing into the gap a little bit. That's part of it here. You can see him in the left of your screen. See how far over in the gap he is? This ball just carries far enough. Bo tries to get out there. No chance for him. It's a tough break for Oregon State.
And, of course, with 1 out, Robertson, and you could see him in the shot there. He was more than halfway to 3rd base.
Yeah.
At the corners. And 1 out.
Yeah, there is a little Creighton contingent here chanting Hovey.
Jordan Hovey's 0 for 3. Middle infield back for 2. Shortening to bunt. Now, the 1st and 3rd bunt play, it's popular in the big leagues with a few teams. Joe Madden loves it. And it's designed to just get a run. And if you put it in the right spot, you force the defense's hand, and the runner at 3rd can trot home.
All right, 2 on there in Corvallis. Bottom right, ECU gave up 2 runs in the top of the 1st, trying to get it back here in the bottom of the 1st. A single and then a throwing error by the pitcher, Chris Enns, to first base. Allowed the next hitter to reach.
Means he plays
and Packard advanced from 2nd to 3rd on that throwing error. So now 2 on and nobody out. Alec Burleson is up now for the number 10 national seed.
Check swing.
Hitting 370 on the season. He does it at the plate and on the mound. He's also a sophomore left-handed pitcher for the Pirates, the number 10 national seed, which we were supposed to play yesterday, but the rains in Greenville pushed them to push that game back to today. Pirates and Jays on your screen, and look at that bad throw. Jays are going to score another run, 4-1 Creighton with the lead on the reigning national champion Oregon State Beavers. Oregon State trying to avoid becoming the third team, just the third team to go 0-2 in the NCAA tournament the year after winning a national championship. Pickoff move.
Of course, playing right field and first base.
The throw goes awry by Dylan Pierce.
Left field
base hit for Burleson, 2-1 Quinnipiac.
Burleson has another RBI to his credit. That's his 55th of the season, and East Carolina's in business.
Well, that's the approach a lot of guys you have to take against the side armor coming at you if you're left-handed, is that inside-out swing. He doesn't try to do too much. See the big hole between short and third, the 6 hole, and he just shoots it right through there, but just outstanding piece of hitting by the sophomore.
Tough to keep the Pirates down. Packard with a belt, championship belt maybe, after he scores the run. Burleson now 19 of 24 with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. How about that?
That's just crazy.
That is insane.
That's
what that is.
Mr. Clutch.
Jake Washer, the catcher. 301 average, 13 home runs, 46 RBIs. An on-base percentage of .391. Trying to load up on right-handed hitters against ends. Runner takes off. Brown, here comes the throw, and he is in there with a steal. No double steal, but the runner at third now with no outs. First and third, no outs for the Pirates.
Yeah, what a great jump right there by Turner Brown. And a lot of times the runner at first, your job is to look at that runner in front of you, and if he takes off, you take off, and Burleson just didn't see it.
Some anxious moments for Chris Enns.
Patrick Mike Rooney here on Bases Loaded. Bases loaded in the bottom right for Harvard. That's an elimination game. And the bases loaded earlier and only pushed one run across. Now they're going to get a second run here. 7-2 UConn. That is an elimination game. We've got 2 teams from the state of Connecticut here in this triple box. Quinnipiac with a 2-1 lead on ECU. And UConn with a 5-run advantage on the Crimson of Harvard.
And the pickoff move, Burleson could be in trouble. Good throw by Osberg, and he is out at second, but Brown on the delay scores the run to tie it up. So they get Burleson at second, but Brown scores the tying run.
That's a heads-up play by Brown. He can really fly. He had a really good read. A good pick by Enns, and as soon as he was gone, you see Burleson starting to already walk, and as soon as that throw was made to second base, I'm telling you, that's a pretty close play. I'm not sure if Burleson didn't sneak a hand in there, but he didn't ask for the replay at all, so we're back to baseball.
And Kevin Usher got the tag down at shortstop just in time.
Boy, John, that's what good teams do. They score when scored upon, and when you're a championship type team like ECU is, you don't panic in the first inning. You give up a couple runs, you come back, and you know the talent and the capabilities of your offense, and they can really rack up some runs in a hurry.
This guy, Jake Washer, hit 3 home runs in the AAC championships, including 2 against Houston, in a 13-2 win on May 22nd. Also hit a grand slam against North Carolina on May 8th in a 9-5 win. Usher on the move at shortstop, and he retires Washer.
That's an outstanding play by Usher. You've got to decide as a shortstop, do I sit back and take the high hop? And a lot of times, they always teach infielders, be aggressive and go get the baseball. That's what he did right there. He caught it on the short hop, but then all your momentum is going toward first base and makes that play a lot easier.
So that will bring up Spencer Brickhouse, the junior first baseman, at .331 with 12 home runs and 51 RBIs. First team All AAC as a DH. Playing first tonight. Also second team as a first baseman.
You see the shift right there. The shortstop Husher swung way around to the right side of second base. Just adding an extra infielder to that right side.
We'll check back with all those games in a little bit, but bottom of the 8th, Illinois State making a statement here against Louisville. Bottom of the 8th and a runner on with 2 outs. Winner's bracket game. Loser has some work left to do. Winner will be just 1 win away from advancing to the super regional round.
Second and third, nobody out. Post to 0.
Smitty playing catch with Wyatt over at first. Isles does have pretty good speed. We have seen that throughout this region. Made Butler look bad on that breaking ball, 1 and 2.
All these kids from Defiance, Ohio, come in with these big old breaking balls. Dace Kime was pitcher back in the day for Louisville, and you remember, now I'm going to draw a blank, the Chad Billingsley from the Los Angeles Dodgers back in the day. What a nasty curveball from Defiance, Ohio. Kind of a hallmark of kids from that program.
So you think there's some savant coach in Defiance,
I know
Ohio,
that.
teaching a breaking ball?
The high school coach there, I think he's been teaching that 12-6 curveball for quite some time. Chad Billingsley got me on it a few times. Things nasty.
2 outs, man on. Illinois State would love an insurance run. Joe Butler at the plate. Here comes the 1-2 from reliever Shea Smitty. Set up outside, pitch out on, the throw down, not in time. That throw was high anyway. Henry Davis, who has a howitzer behind home plate, he was just off target on that.
Yeah, man, this is a layup for a kid like Henry Davis. Louisville guesses right, a perfect time to pitch out. He gets a perfect strike from Shea Smitty and just sails it. And then, man, Joe Isles can really run.
His 14th stolen base this year. He's only been thrown out once.
Now you got to believe you're getting that curveball right here through Joe Butler.
Ground ball toward the hole. Going to be a tough play for Fitzgerald. Oh, my! He got it over to Vanellis, who makes the tag to get Joe Isles. Tyler Fitzgerald, who has been questionable defensively tonight, makes a great play. Last chance for Louisville coming up.
How about a pop-up slide and throw from your knees to the lead base? Just a terrific play from Tyler Fitzgerald. Now, can he do it with the bat leading off the next inning?
We will get you back out to Louisville when they begin the top of the 9th inning. Here are some other scores. Winner's bracket game. North Carolina with a 2-0 advantage. How about Quinnipiac from the state of Connecticut getting it done? Tied at 2 with ECU, albeit in the second. And Texas Tech is mashing Cameron Warren with a 2-run shot. They lead Dallas Baptist 3-0.
You're watching ESPN Bases Loaded, presented by Capital One.
Go to Corvallis. Creighton has made 3 outstanding catches today.
Unreal. And Cincinnati played lights out against Oregon State. The Beavers cannot catch a break right now.
Make sure it's clean, but it sure looked like it.
That's
clean.
a catch. That's a catch. I think they're going to review it, but man, you can start counting now, right? So 2 great plays got Oregon State last night. 3 more today. Terrific plays. Now that you have to try to overcome that, but goodness gracious.
Yeah, Cincinnati made 2 great plays in the outfield in their upset win last night. We just showed you the 2 catches at the wall. Here's the big difference between replay in college and replay in the major leagues. In the major league.
Let's go to Greenville. Quinnipiac with a bunt single. Runners on the corners. The Bobcats are here to stay, Mike Rooney.
Yeah, and if you're East Carolina, you just got to survive this storm here.
And he takes a mighty cut. Lines it foul. Scafarello, senior right fielder at 228, but he can pop it out of the yard with 13 home runs and 34 RBIs. Out of Southington, Connecticut. 6'4", 265, looks like a tight end, but he can move, can he?
Yeah, the scary thing is he runs about a 6'5", 6'6", 60. I saw him in the outfield in practice. I'm like, wow, that guy can really move around.
Well, maybe he should play tight end.
I'm telling you, he'd be a force. Hey, Gronk retired. Maybe that's where he needs to go, the Patriots.
Just down the road in Foxborough, Mass. How about the counter punch?
Keeping our eye on Greenville and also Louisville. A quick out there. 1 out, top of the 9th. How big of an upset would that be, Louisville losing, considering who they had on the mound against the Redbirds?
I mean, an unthinkable upset. For me personally, I felt like if East Carolina and Louisville matched up in a super, that would be gettable for East Carolina, but there was no scenario where I thought Louisville's not coming out of this regional. I mean, they don't lose home regionals. They are clearly the best team in this regional, but credit Illinois State. They have really played great.
Think about doors opening. Now with 2 outs, if ECU was somehow to beat Quinnipiac, win that regional, remember, East Carolina, no team has made it to more NCAA tournaments without a trip to Omaha than ECU.
This is number 30.
This is number 30, and if Illinois State were able to win this regional, again, they're still 1 win away. They'd still have to win another game. Louisville's got a longer road back, but you'd have to love their chances to finish that off hosting a super.
And here's the big advantage. The pressure in a super regional is suffocating. East Carolina was there in 2016. They're used to it. Illinois State, those kids, those coaches have never experienced that. It's really difficult to get your hands around that.
The winner of the Greenville Regional plays the winner of the Louisville Regional in a best 2 out of 3 super regional next week.
Certainly a good rip by Scafarello, as he wasn't fooled by Jake.
This is the guy for Louisville, though. When their offense started to click, it was freshman Alex Pinellas.
Nice job by Giles. Look at the reaction right there. That thing is kind of survival mode.
For East Carolina, there's so much pressure on this team. Can you just settle in and play baseball?
Illinois State, first appearance in the tournament in 9 years, picked 6th in the preseason Missouri Valley Conference poll, and now they're about to be a win away from a super regional.
Steve Holm in his first year has done an unbelievable job there. And remember, he was on the staff at Purdue with Mark Wasikowski. They turned Purdue around in a hot second. Steve Holm has got something special going on there.
You just have to take off, because that is an outstanding move. It's really tough to read.
The team said they were relaxed heading into this regional. Steve Holm, who you referenced, the head coach of Illinois State, former pitching coach at Purdue,
former big league catcher,
said this week, we're loose and felt like we were playing with house money. That's a different mindset to come in than a host school may come in with.
Sometimes you'll see guys go out there and take a big jab back to first base.
Showing bunt, Dylan Lutz.
Illinois State is now 1 win away from advancing to a super regional.
Holy heck. Go Redbirds.
Would you really want to say that?
Go Redbirds.
You just got to try to put the ball in play.
The battle of the Redbirds goes to the Redbirds.
Lutz from an athletic family. His father played baseball and football.
Reed Detmers in Louisville can only look on. So Louisville will have some work to do. It'll be Louisville and Indiana coming up tomorrow. Louisville will have to beat Indiana, then beat Illinois State, and then beat Illinois State again on Monday in order to win that regional.
And Lutz down the line, fair ball. One run will score. Delaney sending the runner in. Now he holds him at third as Lutz goes to second with a stand-up double. And Quinnipiac has an answer as they take a 3-2 lead.
I think there's some passion on this Bobcat team.
No doubt.
They are fired up and ready to go. That's an 0-2 pitch that's hammered down the right field line by Lutz. It's just fair. I'm almost a little surprised that Delaney doesn't send that runner from third. You can see the reaction right there by Lutz. He is absolutely fired up. That must be the dance. We've seen that a couple times out there at second base.
They got some moves like you on the dance floor.
I don't know about that. My wife would have to differ and say, I don't think he's got any.
You're like the original wedding dancer, aren't you? Not the wedding singer.
Leave that dancing commentary for a minute to show you this this dance around the bases. Ashton McGee.
Wow.
That's your commentary?
North Carolina now, that lineup is getting a little bit longer. We try to be succinct, Matt. That's what we try to do here.
Repeat your best stuff. Wow. 2-run shot. UNC.
Starting to pull away there.
Yeah. That's in the Chapel Hill Regional. Here in Corvallis with a nice catch. Boy, a lot of web gems there in Corvallis this weekend.
That's a nice play.
You know, Tyler Malone, coming into the season, hadn't played any right field. I mean, this was a position that they asked him if he could do it, and he was never going to say no. He said absolutely. Not only that, he covers a lot of ground. It's about time that Oregon State flashed some of their leather. It's been happening to them enough. Nice play.
This is a better defensive team, certainly, than they've shown in the first two ball games.
Oh, very much so.
Will Hannafan takes a strike.
All right, Creighton with a 4-1 lead on Oregon State. They did leave Greenville, but we haven't missed anything because they made a pitching change. Quinnipiac with that 3-2 lead on ECU.
Wow.
And already a pitching change for the Pirates.
Jake Kuchwiener, who's been really incredible for ECU this year. Now, the thing is that he comes out of the game right now. He will pitch again this weekend.
We'll get you back out there to Greenville. Home of the number 10 national seed in a fight with a bunch of Bobcats today.
Michigan and Cincinnati, who play tonight, are taking a keen interest in watching this. Michigan shut out Creighton 6-0 yesterday. And Oregon State upset by Cincinnati. What Kevin Ewing is going to tell the Bearcats before tonight's game.
Another speech coming, huh?
I would think so. That ball to left. Casey is there and makes the catch. This is day 2 of the NCAA baseball tournament. Headlines: SEC 10 teams advanced to play on Sunday. Of course, 10 teams equals the record. SEC has had that a couple of times before. National seeds were 14-1 on Friday. That was yesterday. Except here, where Cincinnati upset Oregon State. And home runs are up here in the tournament compared to last year. For more coverage of the Division I baseball tournament in interactive brackets, go to NCAA.com. Collins. This is Casey. And he makes the catch. Beavers need runs. Adley Rutschman will lead it off.
Creighton has won 60 consecutive games when leading after 6 innings. Things are looking good for the Jays, not so good for Oregon State, and not so good for the number 10 national seed, East Carolina, taking on Quinnipiac. Gavin Williams now in after a pitching change.
at the plate. It was at second and third, and that was a horrendous situation for opposing pitchers in the MAC tournament as Mosky lit them up as he tries a bunt, fouls away. Mosky was 7 for 12 in the MAC tournament. He was hitting 230 on April 24th. And now he's at 280. So you do the math. You went to the University of Arkansas.
I can even do that. That's 50 points. There you go.
Well done.
He is, thank you. Just any trigonometry throw my way in between innings. I'll be ready. But I'm a little surprised. You got probably your best hitter, Mosky, at the plate, and he tries to bunt on the first pitch. I don't know if that was something that he did himself, if that was a called play, but I'm letting him swing.
He has 211 hits in his career. That's tied for 6th in program history. And there's that gas from Gavin Williams. Up to 94.
So now if you're Williams, you've got a couple different things. You're 0-2. You definitely don't want to throw a strike. You can either throw the fastball up in the zone about bill high, or you can throw a breaking ball off the plate, but definitely don't want to throw the ball in the zone.
Fouled off of Mosky.
That's going to leave a mark.
That will hurt.
I'm telling you right now, I've done that before, and it's going to be about the 4th inning till he has feeling in that foot.
How many times did that happen to you?
More than I'd like to admit. But that is turning on the inside fastball, get it right off the arch of your foot. See, a lot of guys wear a lot of protection, almost like shin guards with extra flaps down there.
Remember they used to use that spray?
Yeah, the cold spray.
The cold spray. That has gone the way of the highway. Used to be the trainer's best friend. 0-2 the count to Brian Mosky. Just missed with a high fastball.
That's a good spot for that pitch. It's not too far off the plate that it's just an absolutely easy take, but it's definitely not a strike. Now I come back with the fastball up, over the plate, but about shoulder high. That's the one that's tough to lay off, especially when you're throwing 94, 95 miles an hour. Because as a hitter, you got to start that motor early.
And the 1-2 framed nicely by Washer, but he can't buy the strike. One-plate umpire Eric Goshi hearing it from the Loyalists at Clark LeClaire Stadium.
I don't think he's going to get any Christmas cards from these ECU fans, but I definitely think that ball was off the plate. Washer tried to bring it back, but definitely consistency out of the home plate umpire.
Good swing by Mosky down the line. But he'll have to go back to home and take another rip. Mosky, the senior center fielder, appeared in 55 games, 53 starts.
Boy, John, when that ball left the bat, you could almost hear a hush over this crowd. And it is just left of the line. I mean, by about a foot. Everybody just kind of held their breath for a little while until that ball ricocheted off the wall.
Well, it's hard for everybody to see as well.
It's definitely blinding. The sun sets in about left center, and it is absolutely difficult to pick up.
And Mosky didn't pick that one up. Swings through it for the strikeout.
Yeah, just an outstanding pitch right there by Gavin Williams. That's a huge punch out for ECU. Look at the location and also the depth on that breaking ball. I mean, that is an absolute hammer on the outside corner.
And that's what you're looking for, isn't it? If you're a pitching coach, the late breaking depth.
The late break and just 12-6 straight down. It's a little easier when you have kind of one of those breaking balls that comes more sideways across the strike zone because it stays in the hitting plane longer than those ones that go from 12-6 straight from, like, think about a clock, from the top of the clock straight down. So just almost like it falls off a table.
Andre Marrero scored a run in the first inning on the home run by Volgamore. Marrero, 27 extra base hits. 13th double of the year in the first inning. bounced by Williams and played effectively by Jake Washer.
Now, if this run doesn't get pushed across the plate, you just wonder if the Bobcats missed an opportunity to send that runner scoring on that double that's standing at third base right now.
Every pitch is magnified, especially in these situations. The 1-1 fouled away. Humped up there at 95, but low. Andre Marrero is one of the strongest players on the Quinnipiac squad, both on the field and in the weight room. And he looks at compact swing from the DH. Packed with power with 10 home runs this year. So deuces are wild with Williams' pitch and bounced to Turner Brown at short. And that ends the inning. The Bobcats leave 2 runners in scoring position, but they take the 3-2 lead.
Want to show you this. Adley Rutschman from Oregon State. Going to be the #1 pick on Monday night. Potentially his last at-bat as an Oregon State Beaver. Flies out, and watch this. The fans in Oregon State, they're smart. They understand greatness and moments when they see them. Standing O as he walks off for potentially the final time. Gives a tip of the cap. They haven't lost yet. Still a few outs to go.
That's awesome.
But that's really cool to see. Some other scores for you. Baylor about to eliminate Omaha. 3 innings away at least. UConn hammering Harvard. Texas Tech about to advance to a regional final. This is Bases Loaded.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself, the rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
You're watching ESPN Bases Loaded, presented by Capital One.
North Carolina with 2 runs in the 6th to take a 4-0 lead on Liberty, but the Flames out of the Atlantic Sun are making some noise. This is Logan Matthew at the plate. Austin Love is on the mound. Kind of a Johnny Holstaff approach today for Mike Fox and UNC.
Yeah, Tyler Baum didn't get to the 7th, so they've really dug deep with those relievers.
We're never quite freshmen. What a pick by Martirano. Throw to first, not in time. Boy, that one nearly got away for a wild pitch. And on the back end, Martirano almost stole an out against the runner Locklear.
That was a very good pick and a throw, and it was, wow, that was a close play. Good job by Michael Bush to be there too. I mean, both parties participating have to react. That's a reaction play.
Logan Matthew takes ball 2. How many catchers and first basemen even have the wherewithal to make that play on a pitch in the dirt?
These two right here, a junior and Brandon Martirano that's going to be drafted, and a first baseman in Michael Bush, who's going to be a first rounder. And so that's the answer. You get that kind of baseball IQ and talent, you can do plays like that, just like Danny Soretti can come in and make a play on the ball that he just did and get the force out at third.
Love has stayed in for the lefties, and Matthew hits a ground ball to the right side. Love's got to cover first. He does so on the throw from McGee. 4-1 on the ground out. Embry to third, Locklear to second, but 2 down. All right, how do you play this? You have the lefty O'Brien ready, another lefty coming up after the ground out 4-1.
Well, it depends. I think a big play right here is understanding who's on deck. That goes into play.
Love's going to stay out there. Pitch number 44 from number 44 is a strike.
You got a righty on deck, so you can mess with this pitch with this hitter right now. And Will Wagner, you can throw some breaking balls, see if he'll stretch the zone. Don't have to give him anything to hit. There's a base open.
Liberty 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position today. 0 for 8 with runners on base.
And you just got to be very, very smart. Will Wagner, one of the better hitters on this team. Came in hitting a cool 306 today, so got to be careful.
1-1. Love's pitch grounded to first. Michael Bush will take it. North Carolina is out of the 6th. The great escape for Austin Love.
Go to Corvallis, where Creighton has won 45 straight under head coach Ed Service when leading after 8 innings. And they're 106-1 in the last 4 years when leading after 8 innings. This would qualify under that category. Top of the 9th. The Creighton Blue Jays trying to eliminate Oregon State.
The landscape of college baseball, day 2 of the NCAA tournament. These are the regionals. One team advances out of each of the 16 regionals to the super regionals, where you match up 2 teams. We play the best 2 of 3, with the winner of that advancing to the College World Series in Omaha. 8 teams arrive in Omaha. Only one wears the crown. Oregon State last year. They were down to their last out last year in game 2 against Arkansas. That pop-up that fell down the right field line kept them alive. They won that game and then had that great shutout and a 5-0 win in the deciding game 3. Kevin Abel, of course, was the starter for Oregon State in that game. He's been hurt most of the year and out. Beavers lost a ton of talent in the Major League draft, and they've lost some really good starting pitchers to injury this year. Jake Holton waiting. And a mighty rip by Holton.
Talking about the loss of that pitching and somebody like a Kevin Abel, who you anticipated coming in being a starter. All of a sudden he goes down, and some of your guys out of the pen had to throw so many early innings that they ended up pretty tired come month of May, and they had to sit, and that goes to that record. All of a sudden, you know, that losing or their record 5-8 down the stretch, things like that, a lot of that can go right to the pitching staff.
That one caught by Bo Phillip, and an out here. Sports Center tonight, Women's College World Series. Barry Melrose joins the show to break down Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals from St. Louis. What adjustments will the Warriors make? What adjustments will the Raptors make before Game 2? And with Clayton Kershaw on the mound, the teams with the best records in the National League square off. Sports Center after softball on ESPN and the ESPN app. Pitching change for Oregon State. 4-1 Creighton in the 9th.
Get you back out there a little bit later on. Let's go to Stanford right now, where UC Santa Barbara trails 4-3 in this elimination game. Later on tonight, we'll have the number 11 seed Stanford Cardinal facing Fresno State in a winner's bracket game. The Bulldogs with the champs out of the Mountain West.
Down to a knee, 1-2 with Bacho.
remember I came to the ballpark one day and I was struggling, and Felipe Alou was our manager, and I was hitting 5th, 6th that year, and he's got me in the three hole. Ahead of Barry was hitting 4th. And his philosophy was, if a guy's struggling, I'm going to get somebody behind you so you get better pitches. I ended up hitting there for 2 months and hitting over 350 for 2 months, and average went from like 240 to over 300. So a lot of times I'm a big believer in that. Sometimes a guy's struggling, you don't move him down in the order, move him up a little bit and get a guy that's hot behind you, because now you're not necessarily going to get every pitch is not going to be a fastball down the middle, but you're going to get more strikes. And if you're a disciplined hitter with good strike zone awareness and plate coverage, you're going to be able to take advantage of it and have good at-bats.
A strikeout, Yang down to a knee, throws to first to complete it, and a 1-2-3. Turned in by Shea Berry. Take another look at this play that McLean O'Connor made, JT. The backhand.
Pretty amazing. Big one hopper, throws it off balance over the top.
Let's go to Los Angeles. Baylor, bases loaded, and already with a 7-run advantage. Omaha's first trip to the NCAA tournament. Going to be a short one. We're in the 6th.
25 pitches already this inning from Cal Henke. 1-0. Langoliers hits in the air, right center field. This is going to be tough. And it gets in there. This will clear the bases. Round third. Richard Cunningham is in. Shea Langoliers, have yourself a day. He is 4 for 4. He has driven in 8. And it's a 14-4 lead for Baylor.
Well, what's the most impressive thing about Shea Langoliers, he hit his home runs to left field. This ball's on the outside part, and he hits it to the right center gap. I mean, de Bonville, watch the effort. Tremendous effort. But you talked about it, Roxy. 8 RBIs, 4 for 4 for Shea Langoliers.
The All-American delivers again as Andy Thomas takes ball 1. Shea Langoliers, 4 for 4, 8 RBIs. 1-0 pitch. Andy Thomas pops it up. This should get Omaha out of the inning. Brett Bonar, the catcher, makes the play. 4 more for Baylor. 14-4 to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the order coming up for Omaha.
Let's go back to Corvallis, where we will be leaving Corvallis here in just a moment. It has been since 1985 the last time the Beavers went to an NCAA tournament and did not win a game. They've won a tournament game in each of their 12 appearances. We're in North Carolina here, where Michael Bush just homered for the Tar Heels. Top 7 here against Liberty. Come on.
Anything you can do. Back to back for the Bash Brothers of the Tar Heels.
Oh, man. That ball got out in a hurry. And that was crushed. I didn't want to say anything. He got out that quickly. Just watch it. Yeah, we need exit velocities. As Hamilton Porter would say, the old Sultan of SWAT in the Sandlot.
Aaron Sabato has broken the North Carolina freshman record. He tied Chad Flack with 15 yesterday. He surpasses him with his 16th today. Michael Bush had the exclusive home run lead of the Tar Heels for all of 2 pitches. And both Bush and Sabato now have 16. 1-2 now for Dan.
Go to Corvallis now, where the reigning national champs down to their final 3 outs. Could become the 3rd team to win a national title, then come back the next year and fail to win a game in the tournament. 3 outs to go, bottom 9 against the Jays.
In innings in an appearance is 3 2/3. He would match that if he finishes this game. And there's the different release points that we talked about at service. It's emphasized with his bullpen. 3/4, sidearm.
All over, right? They told us 3 slots. How do you teach 3 slots?
Nasty breaking ball. Andy Armstrong goes down swinging.
He's a leverage pitcher. I mean, this is what and Ed Service talked about, trying to get a little bit more out of his starter to get to John Sikowski.
The question at the start of this Corvallis Regional was, could Oregon State get back to Omaha? They're down to their last 2 outs. Unfortunately for them, Omaha has come to Corvallis. The Creighton Blue Jays, who play in TD Ameritrade Park, home of the College World Series in Omaha. Last night it was Cincinnati. Today it's Creighton. And it's 3-1.
We'll see if Joe decides to take again. 3-1 count.
Casey takes down low, and there's a base runner. They'll need another. Rutschman has the helmet on.
All right, we got a quad box for you here. 7 after the hour. We got our night games. Our winners bracket games are underway. Georgia, top left. Tucker Maxwell led off the game with a home run. He had a grand slam yesterday with 6 runs batted in against Mercer. The Bulldogs off and running against Florida State. Bottom right, Arkansas and TCU. Bottom left, Ole Miss and Clemson. Just some great meaty matchups, and Georgia Tech and Auburn going to be a fun night. Mike Rooney.
And look, you got Lodolo on the mound right there. Georgia's playing some offense. It is go time in these regionals.
And that matchup, pitching matchup, Georgia and Florida State, Emerson Hancock, C.J. Van Eck. Those are big league arms.
Yeah, both of those kids are going to be high picks next year, that's for sure.
Hot shot to Drew Mendoza.
Let's go back to Corvallis, down to their final 2 outs, the reigning national champion Oregon State Beavers.
As well as being a team leader, someone who can kind of teach guys that come in. Dukart is a guy that can take on that role. It's a big spot for him here.
Top of the order is next. Chopper over the middle. Collins bobbles it. Everybody's safe. Remember that ball in Omaha, that pop-up that Arkansas did not secure. We just saw it and saw the result. Creighton could have ended the day with a double play here. So that door is cracked open a little more. Tyler Malone, Rutschman 2 hitters away.
Remember now, Malone had his first home run in yesterday's game, been swinging a very hot bat.
Up the middle, Collins got one. Double play, Creighton wins it. And the defending champs go down in Corvallis. The Blue Jays, the Big East champs, upset Oregon State. 4-1 the final. Collins to Struntz to Holton. And the Blue Jays live to play another day.
So look, here's the thing with it's a tough loss, and you get a good look at Adley Rutschman. And I think, you know, congratulations to Creighton, but to Adley Rutschman, terrific career here at Oregon State. All the winning that they have done, big hats off to him.
4-1 the final here. Bracket looks this way. Creighton advances to tomorrow. We've got Michigan and Cincinnati later tonight here in Corvallis. The season ends for the defending national champs, Oregon State. Michigan, Cincinnati tonight. Winners bracket from Athens.
The first one seed to lose is Oregon State, one of the biggest wins in program history for the Creighton Blue Jays, a team that went to the College World Series back in 1991. They will survive to see at least one more game there in Corvallis. Meanwhile, in Starkville, Mississippi State facing the team with the longest active win streak in college baseball, Central Michigan. They've won 19 in a row after taking down Miami last night, Rune.
Yeah, and they are feeling themselves, by the way.
Take a fastball in the outer third for a called strike. McNamee also now healthy, missed about 2 weeks, a left foot injury. And head coach Chris Lamona's telling us earlier this week they try to work him back into the lineup in a very methodical manner. Got the start yesterday as the DH, and again tonight. Comes up empty on a big cut.
They call him Big Hit Mac. Big walk-off home run in Tallahassee last year. Postseason play. He's been clutch.
Westberg at third, Allen at first. The 0-2. And McNamee sending this one down the right field line. And that's a fair baseball. Bulldogs strike first. Westberg scores. Rounding third and coming home is Tanner Allen. The throw off target. And listen to this crowd. McNamee back to second. Tag is in time for the second out.
McNamee wants to get their attention to have him check it. He thinks he got the hand in around the glove. Part of the problem was McNamee didn't read the play originally. Probably should have been down to third base, but then went too late.
We'll see if they challenge that one. Look at the, oh my gosh, I'm hungry. 3-1 Texas Tech. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Dallas Baptist. The run across. 2 on now.
The wine, by the way, is quite good from the Fresno State Winery. They've got one guy who oversees it with plenty of experience in the winemaking business, and then it's all students who get out there and do that. I don't know how well ballpark food, though, if you have a wine that pairs well with hot dogs or nachos.
Maybe they should come up with it. They could make a million. They could make millions if they could come up with it.
That's the next genius invention. Matt Gardner, the pitching coach, who was previously the volunteer assistant for 4 seasons, now in his second year as a full-on assistant for the Red Raiders. Played for Tim Tadlock back in the mid-2000s. Graduated from Oklahoma State. So far, pretty good for Killian. But this inning has been his toughest yet. Hadn't allowed back-to-back base runners. It started with a double for Iser, a single by Sosa. Augie Isaacson had a sac fly. And now he's got 2 runners on and 2 out, with Taylor Floyd loosening the arm in the bullpen. We had a long game 1, and it appears at least one person who's in the ballpark now was watching in that game. We put him to sleep, unfortunately.
About to lose that pacifier. Better be careful. Okay, he got a little attachment.
Oh, is that a clip-on pacifier? That's a good. That's a good development. One swing of the bat could tie this thing up here for Glowinski if he can find a gap. Killian brings it at 95, but downstairs. Who's hitting that?
Right now, not too many people. 95 followed back by the curveball right there. Sometimes just needs a little talking, settling down from the coach to come out, get your mind off of what you've done, and get your mind set on what you can do to get out of this inning.
There's a team that's got a lot of power. Top 25 in the country coming into the postseason with 70 homers. A diving try by Young comes up short. And it's a 3-2 game. Sosa is in to score. Glowinski drops it past the infield. And the inning stays active offensively for DBU.
Called it, drops it by Young out there, just off the end. Just enough to get it in the outfield grass and just out of the outstretched Josh Young right there.
And here comes Tim Tapp.
Quick update from Atlanta. Ryan Bliss, the freshman, deep center. Get out of here. Look out for the Auburn Tigers. Playing their best baseball right now. 1-0 Auburn.
0-2. They just
Let's head to Nashville. Indiana State, second and third, one out. Getting after the favored Vandy Commodores.
Shocking developments out in Corvallis as Robbie Enriquez, the senior out of Carolina, Puerto Rico, will step in. Out in right field with the Sycamores. Runners at second and third and one out. Rocker having a tough time finding the strike zone right now. Boy, North Carolina's putting it on Liberty right now. It's 10-0 in the seventh inning. Liberty took down Tennessee last night. North Carolina lucky to survive their opener. Had a walk-off on a squeeze play that didn't work. Runner got it into a rundown, and
North Carolina always seems to get lucky, don't they?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Ground ball out to Paul. His only play is going to be over to first, so they'll give up the run. And Indiana State leads 1-0.
Well, the four-hole Robbie Enriquez does his job, gets the run home, and that's the one run they were playing for by setting up the bunt. There's Jake Means over to third with 2 outs.
Mitch Hann is now at his 6th season at Indiana State. An excellent player in his time at Indiana State in 86, 87, and 89, where he was an All-American in 1989. As part of the 1986 College World Series team, drafted in the 16th round by the Brewers, played a few years in minor league ball. He's done a great job with the Sycamore program. Chris Ayers swings and misses, 1-1 to the 5-hole hitter, the designated hitter.
Yeah, Chris Ayers, a great story. 7 for 43 during the regular season. Didn't even play the first 2 games of the MVC tournament. Ends up being the tournament MVP. 6 for 16, 3 home runs. And now all of a sudden finds himself in the starting lineup.
All right, let's head back to Lubbock, where Dallas Baptist threatening against Texas Tech. Bases loaded. DBU 8th regional in 9 years.
Slips out of his hand. Gets Jackson Glenn on the backside. Slips right there. Just doesn't keep the grip on it.
A posterior plunking of the junior third baseman. Killian watches as Floyd, the first-year Red Raider after 2 years at Grayson Community College, has the bases loaded one-run game with the winner going on to the regional championship game tomorrow. It's going to be a race to the bag at first, and Floyd wins it to erase the DBU threat. 8 batters come to the plate to score a one-run game after 5.
All right, let's head back to Starkville, where Mississippi State is getting offensive early and often here.
Gunnar Halter, check that. Grant Frazier getting loose for CMU. Right in front of that off-speed pitch. That'll even the count. I mean, a big part for CMU of a win tonight is handling this early pressure, weathering the storm, if you will, right?
Surviving the early blows. Get out of the first round.
One and two. Big hit so far, Elijah McNamee. A 1-out, 2-run double. One of 6 hits already for the Bulldogs. A good take by Hatcher.
Good spot, though. They want to challenge. So if you don't throw anything, then you're going to make them chase here. You're going to have to 3-2.
Skelton at second, Jordan at first for MSU. And the 2-2. Shot through the hole, right side, base hit. Here comes Skelton. Throw will be cut off, 4-0 Bulldogs.
Meanwhile, in Chapel Hill, Brandon Martirano, South Jersey's finest. You cannot keep the Tar Heels in the yard tonight. Putting it on Liberty, 10-0 Tar Heels. Let's head back to Atlanta, Georgia Tech and Auburn.
His brother Carter also on the roster, a junior who has dealt with injuries. Colin had a 3-hit game with 2 RBIs and a stolen base on Friday night against Florida A&M. But Burns really could look at Casey Mize, and Casey Mize signing in 2018 with the Tigers organization. His first full year of pro ball this year. Started off in Advanced A in the Florida State League, promoted up to AA in the Eastern League, and probably knocking on the door in 2020, if not 2020, then definitely 2021. And all he did in his first AA start was
toss a no-hitter. I mean, you can't get any better than that. I think, once you get to AA, you can get the call straight to the big leagues from right there. And I think it depends on his development maybe in the next couple of months as we approach, midsummer, and where the Tigers are in the pennant race. If they're in the thick of it, he might get called up this year as we approached August and September.
popped up foul out of play. I used to like it growing up, the September call-ups. It's not like it used to be because now you start that free agent clock where a
All
guy
right, let's
like
double up
Casey
two
Mize,
box.
if
We'll
he's
add
knocking on the door
Greenville
in
here.
2020,
The Pirates
Tigers
threatening.
benefit from it.
We'll listen in to Greenville.
Boy, there could really, this crowd is just waiting to explode. They want something big to happen.
Long look at second by Enns. And another strike.
Boy, a lot of times you see pitchers that are that deliberate and kind of hold that baseball for an extra couple of seconds. They can't find the strike zone, but Enns, he's a seasoned veteran on the mound and is able to kind of freeze the hitter, so to speak, and then still deliver a strike. Now you've got to stay out of the strike zone, something away.
And that will do it. So runners left at first and second. And coming up, we'll be talking to Cliff Godwin as his squad trails 3-2 in Greenville.
All right, let's go back to Atlanta. Tanner Burns on the mound for Auburn. First start in a few weeks. One of the bright young right-handers in the sophomore class.
Also Alex Faedo from the University of Florida.
Hall has worked the count full.
Denny Hall electing to try to play for a big inning. His son really is swinging a hot bat. The last 5 weeks, he's hitting almost 400.
71 hits on the season for Colin Hall. Burns a couple of looks towards second base. This one well hit into the right center field alley. Howell coming over makes the catch. English was about a quarter of the way towards third base, unable to tag up. Hall hit the ball well, nothing to show for it. And one down. We'll take another look at the sweet swing of Colin Hall.
Steve, it's the little things in this game. This ball's hit on the line, and Tristan English at second base thinks it's going to be in the gap. He delays going.
All right, the ball is jumping on Saturday night. Cade Beloso, the freshman for LSU, not gone, way gone. LSU jumping on Southern Miss early. The box is jumping. Not the only home run hit in the SEC. How about Cole Zabowski for Ole Miss, the big left-hander, trying to exercise those demons in Oxford. Home run showers. Let's head back to Atlanta.
Austin Wilhite last night, 2 base hits and 5 at-bats, has hit safely in 6 of 7. Young man from Buford, Georgia, his brother, twin brother, Nick Wilhite, the number 9 hitter in the lineup for the Yellow Jackets. Burns retired the side 1-2-3 in the first, needing just 10 pitches to do so. Got into trouble hitting English to open up things here in the top of the second. Auburn up 1-0 on a home run by Ryan Bliss against Connor Thomas in the Auburn first inning. Again, Auburn, the home team here at Russ Chandler Stadium, winning the coin toss. So you could say they're 2-0. Victory against Coastal and winning the coin toss. Things going well for Butch Thompson and the Tigers. Long look towards second base. And the pitch is fouled back. Home plate umpire tonight, Brian DeBrouwer. He calls the balls and strikes. Eddie Newsom at first base. Jeff Hendricks at second. And Jason Kaminsky is the umpire at third.
Burns, looks like the game plan, first time through the order, he is really trying to establish an attack with the fastball. And why not? I mean, it's one of the best in the college game. But 2 strikes here. Might be good to snap off a hook right here. Try to get a swing and miss here with 1 out.
Stays alive at 1-2. Austin Wilhite last year started all 58 games at shortstop. He came in last night, went from second to short when Luke Waddell left the ball game in the third inning. And Waddell went down in the bottom half of the third, was removed from the game. Fortunate for the Yellow Jackets, he's back in there tonight. But He was in the front of 2 inning-ending double plays early on against Florida A&M. In and out of the glove of the catcher, Scheffler.
Well, that's why Tech is so strong defensively up the middle. You got Wilhite, who not only was the shortstop last year, but he was a freshman All-American in 2017 at that position, so he's able to slide over to second, put Waddell in the lineup, and you're pretty set up the middle from a defensive standpoint, and throw in Nick Wilhite in center field. That's a lot of speed, and that's a lot of talent up the middle.
Burns takes the sign from Scheffler, the catcher. English away from second. And Wilhite stays alive at the plate. Austin and his twin brother Nick started playing baseball.
Nashville, bottom right. The Commodores threatening. Shocking, I know. Here comes the Vandy offense. We'll listen to Atlanta, though.
Have a little catch, play a little wiffle ball. Probably competing together and against each other from that early age. Burns in a battle right now, trying to bear down and get out of this inning. This is turning into a fine at bat for Austin Wilhite.
Well, Georgia Tech doesn't have any runs yet. There's Nick. He's in the hole right now. He hits 9th in the lineup. But two really good ABs by Colin Hall and now Austin Wilhite. Burns having to throw a lot of pitches, pay a lot of attention to those two hitters.
8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming to Austin Wilhite. Runners go, pop up. Rankin-Woley in foul territory. Doesn't have a play. The stands are filled up here at Rush Chandler Stadium.
Danny Hall trying to get aggressive, putting the runners in motion with 1 out in the inning. Trying to stay out of the double play.
Georgia Tech fan section, but in case you haven't noticed, there is a lot of orange. Scheffler going through the signals for the pitcher and the infielders up the middle. There you go.
And don't be surprised if Hall puts the runners in motion again and Burns gets a swing and miss. Scheffler could go to second base. Radcliffe, the slower of the two runners on right now.
Burns chases the runner back. Is that part of the sequence that Scheffler went through?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I think so. That's what it was. Obviously, it's not a first and third situation.
Burns again comes to the set. Liner to right field. Williams going back, in and out of his glove, and it's going to go to the wall. English will score. James Ramsey stops Radcliffe at third. Yellow Jackets on the board, and they tied at 1.
I'll tell you, that is one great at-bat by Austin Wilhite. Fought off a bunch of 2-strike pitches up in the zone. Finally got something he can handle as Burns tried to elevate the fastball again. That's the Sun Field. Let's not forget, in right field here at Rush Chandler Stadium, off the top of the mitt for Stephen Williams. They're going to give him an error on that play. But again, a nice battle by Wilhite against a really good pitcher.
Jackson Webb, switch hitter, playing third base for Georgia Tech with 2 in scoring position. Number 3 national seed Georgia Tech trying to take the lead for the first time in this one against Tanner Burns and Auburn. 2-ball, no-strike count. Scheffler will pay a visit. This is pitcher-catcher right now. Will Holland, the shortstop, is also going to come in on the conversation.
Now, another thing to keep in mind, too, Stephen Williams playing right field. Listen, he's a good player and he's a good athlete, but he was a catcher in high school.
Good action in the nightcaps. Not so great with Baylor in Omaha. However, Shea Langoliers, NCAA tournament single game record, 12 runs batted in, 3 home runs. He may get another AB.
Get hot and stay hot. Well done, Shea Langoliers.
2 safeties for Omaha, 3 touchdowns for the Bears. We got about 15 games going on right now. This is one of them. Southern Miss trailing LSU 1-0. Cole Donaldson at the plate. Cole Henry on the mound for LSU. Which Cole gets the advantage here, Mike Renner?
Yeah, Cole Donaldson's older. Cole Henry is more talented. This kid's a dynamic freshman arm, but he has been out for a while with injury. Second start since coming back. Really big get back for LSU.
Only play will be the first. And even that was close. Henry kind of lollipopped that toss a little bit, and Donaldson was hustling all the way.
Yeah, pretty good internal clock, if that's what you want to call it. But I mean, it was just in time. The big fella kind of bounced off the mound and took his time getting it over there.
A 2 in scoring position for Southern Miss. And here's Fred Franklin.
LSU's going to play the middle infield back, and they're going to concede that tying run to just a routine ground ball to one of the middle infielders, but tie this game up. If it hits at the corner, though, you may see a play at home plate to one of the corners.
LSU leading on the strength of a Cade Beloso solo blast to right. It's dribbled back to the pitcher. Looks off Wallner at third and then fires to first. That's a gift right there for Cole Henry. A one-pitch unproductive out.
You talk about an outstanding pitch, and that's what Cole Henry. We talked about the 2-seam fastball and the 4-seam fastball. We can look at this pitch here. He's got one of the best 2-seam fastballs, meaning he can run it down and into the right-handers.
Let's bring in Lubbock, Dallas Baptist, hanging around here, not making it easy on Texas Tech.
A 2 spot in the bottom of the 5th, and now a runner 90 feet away to tie this one up. Texas Tech College World Series team from a year ago needs this out. Taylor Floyd on the mound.
Texas Tech's got a really deep and effective bullpen. Not sure they wanted to be in it this deep in the 6th inning, but for Southern Miss, if you're going to get something going against LSU, you better do it now and try to take some of the air out of this crowd, because you can feel the energy in Baton Rouge right now.
It's Danny Lynch, who had a home run yesterday, freshman. Then again, who didn't hit a home run yesterday?
12-run inning, you better participate.
Helmet almost comes off, and it does, and that'll do it. They're in the bottom of the 6th. To Baton Rouge we go. LSU with a 1-0 lead. 2 on. The Golden Eagles.
3 hits yesterday, including a home run.
Second of the year. So we get a guy, Danny Lynch, is his 2nd of the year. And Storm Cooper hits his 1st of the year for Southern Miss. So that's a little bit of production down at the bottom.
That is what both these teams have in common from Game 1 victories. The bottom of the lineup came through in a huge way for both sides. Look at that. 8 runs batted in for Southern Miss, 7 for LSU.
Let me tell you what that is. That's winning baseball right there. You get that kind of production at the bottom, you're going to win some ball games.
He got him.
Well, Danny Lynch might have hit a home run last night, but he's going to need a little catch-up, because I can tell you what, Cole Henry's bringing the rain right now. I'm talking about 95 elevated up in the zone. LSU up 1-0 going to the 3rd.
LSU with the slight edge. Quinnipiac still with that 3-2 lead in Greenville. They're in the bottom of the 4th. That's the first game for both of those two teams after yesterday was washed out in Greenville. Mississippi State with a 4-0 lead on Central Michigan. We're in the bottom of the 1st. And Georgia Tech up 2 runs in the top of the 2nd. National Seeds with leads outside of Greenville. That's champs out of the NAAC, first tournament appearance in 14 years. Have a 3-2 lead on the number 10 National Seeds. That's an opening round game. Lone opening round game today.
That's in there for a strike.
That's just an outstanding pitch. As a hitter, your job is to pull a baseball to the right-hand side so that runner can advance from second to third on a ground out, or you might be able to sneak one through a hole. And then Chris Enns is painting the outside corner, so that makes it really difficult to get that barrelhead out and get that ball hit to the right side.
Missed outside. The deception of Enns. Will the left-hander Francisco hang in there? Clearly going to the outside corner.
That's a dynamite take right there by Francisco. As a hitter, it actually starts on the outside corner and then it sweeps off. So if I'm Enns right here, I'm going to bust him in with a fastball. You've got him leaning out over the plate. I think you can get the punch out on the inside corner.
And the 2-2 on the way. Chop foul. Quinnipiac. And the man who just fielded the ball, Evan Vogelmore. A 2-run homer for them in the first inning. His 9th of the season. Pirates clawed back to tie it at 2 in the first, and then 1 run put on the board by the Bobcats of Quinnipiac in the second. That's where we stand. Jake Kuchmaner, the man who threw a perfect game March 17th against Maryland, didn't even make it out of the second inning. For the Pirates, Gavin Williams has done a good job stemming the tide in relief. Enns the starter for Quinnipiac.
Boy, I think if Enns would have thrown that pitch when he saw the hand come off the bat, I mean, the batter was trying to call for timeout, and he put his hands up. You never want to take your hand off the bat. You say the words timeout to the umpire, but you keep both hands on the bat. If he throws that pitch, I don't think Francisco can get that hand back on the bat to swing.
Well, these fans are loud. They are raucous in Greenville, trying to boost their offense. Runner takes off. Lloyd on the move. That's swung to the gap. Could be business. Lloyd had to hesitate. He lost the ball, but now he will scamper to home for the tying run. Long RBI single for Thomas Francisco. And the Pirates have the fans off their feet.
Double box here for you, Georgia. The Bats are alive and well in Athens, Mike Rooney.
Yeah, this is Aaron Shunk, their 3-hole hitter, 2-way player. This is not what Georgia's known for. They're known for pitching and defense, but it is an older position player group, and they're certainly swinging the bats really well right now. How about East Carolina? You think they're kind of feeling it a little bit in Greenville right now?
Aaron Shunk hit 2 home runs yesterday. Grounds into a double play. No, he does not. Bad throw. Run scores. It's a free out.
Free run. Can't do that. That's been a problem for Florida State. Remember, they have 4 true freshmen they're playing every day. And that's one of them. Nander DeSatis, really talented. Was going to be a first-round pick out of high school. This is just easy. This has got to be an easy double play. Sails it.
Because you've had such a great weekend.
Boy, I tell you what.
Shaming me.
Owning you. Dominating you.
It's not a free run. There's only one.
And hit batters. They come back to haunt you
almost every time. I see where you're going with that. Interesting.
Free runner.
Not a free run.
Free out.
All right.
Not a free run.
So now I'm 10-1 versus you.
I'm trying to get back.
I like it.
The pride that I once had before I sat down in this chair Friday afternoon. Georgia, the number 4 national seed winner of the Athens Regional, will take on the winner of the Baton Rouge Regional in a super. LSU still with a 1-0 lead. Top 3, runner on first for the Tigers.
Remember Georgia lost a home regional to Duke last year after going out 2-0 in the regional? It's almost the same team, and it just doesn't feel like Georgia's players are going to let that happen again this year. And if they beat C.J. Van Eyck, he's really the last real threat for them in this regional.
Swinging the bat, maybe trying to find a gap right here.
Good look from the high home camera.
Swing and miss for L.J. Talley. That's Quinnipiac tied at 3 with ECU.
Defense for the Bobcats playing pretty straight.
Is that waiting a day to play?
Really
brutal. Same thing for East Carolina. They're a team that last year had all kinds of weather issues that hurt their crowds. They lost a home regional to South Carolina last year. So very much like an Ole Miss or a Georgia, they are just dying to erase those memories.
Squaring again. Good take by Baker. Did not offer.
C.J. Van Eyck trying to get tally. Now it's John Cable who's up here. We're going to listen to the Greenville Regional here.
Pirates in the fourth. Francisco at first. And the chopper foul. Good cut by Baker.
Yeah, sometimes as a hitter, you just have to spoil a good pitch. And that's what he did right there. That ball was on the inside on the hands. You just got to throw that barrel head, just make some contact, and hopefully that the pitcher ends makes a mistake and you can do something with it you can handle.
Rangy play by Lutz. Steps on second to first. And they complete the double play. Well done by Dylan Lutz. Unassisted double play. Ranging.
Go back to Athens now, 2-0.
Their bracket's been pushed back. Here's the 1-2 to Cable. Got him swinging at the changeup. Back-to-back strikeouts for C.J. Van Eyck, but Georgia adds another run thanks to a Maxwell double.
Go to Lubbock now, the number 8 national seed Texas Tech 2 on after DBU scored 2 in the 5th. Texas Tech trying to get some insurance here with 1 out.
Kelly at second and the much speedier Holt behind him at first. So that does negate his speed somewhat on the base paths. With the native of Colorado at the plate here, the only Red Raider yet to reach base.
Big swing by Otremba, missing the breaking ball. For Bayless, you want to get something down in the zone, work that double play. I'd like to get the double play with Klein, Young, and Cameron Warren coming up after Otremba.
Found success going off speed. 79 miles an hour on that pitch. 2-2. See if he can either get a swing and a miss or a weak ground out from Otremba.
Fouling that off for Otremba after seeing breaking balls down. Chasing the high one, able to get a piece of it and stay in there.
I have a feeling Tanner Otremba will go the rest of his life without anyone asking for identification. He could pass for 35 today. Strike through. Showed him all different speeds and locations. The freshman strikes out for the 3rd straight trip to the plate.
Speeds and location. Gets away with this one. does Jared Bayless. This one stays right over the middle of the plate. Tanner Trimba just underneath it.
It was a pitch like that. Got a good long ride from Cameron Warren back in the second inning. He's a couple spots away in the lineup. This is Brian Klein for the 4th time. Top of the 7th, Texas Tech got 3 in the 2nd. Dallas Baptist got its 2 runs in the 5th. The winner of this game moves on to need just one more victory to advance to a super regional. For DBU, last time they were there, 2011. And they went out to the West Coast. They've been in 4 straight regional championship games. The advance has been even further for Texas Tech in the Tim Tadlock era. They've been in the postseason 5 of his 7 years, with trips to the College World Series in 2016 and 2018, as well as 2014.
Fastball slider out of Jared Bayless with the lefty in the box. Might take away that slider unless you can backdoor it, but then you risk leaving it over the plate. Like that. Got away with it again.
He did to strike out Trimba and to get to 2-2 on Klein. He's shown anywhere from about a 9 to 13 mile an hour difference between the off speed and the fastball.
Yeah, we see that the breaking ball to lefties. You saw what happened. He left it out over the plate. Brian Klein took it because he thought it was high. He got the call. You can place that one on that outer half. You could probably get him right here. Or also the fastball in. Got him to chase the fastball. Jared Bayless comes in, strikes out 2. Still.
Got an update for you. Tim Becker was on the club baseball team the last 3 years. No home runs on the season coming into the regional. It's his 3rd in 2 games. That's insane.
Insane. That must be a good club team.
He was the president of that club team?
Yes, he was.
Tim Becker, 3 home runs, all coming in the regional. Let's go there now. 2 on here.
Florida State faithful have made the
Florida State. Calm down, fans. Coaches will coach. 2-1 Georgia.
They are fired up. Runners at the corners for Drew Mendoza. He can put a charge in the 1 or 2 or 16.
We got Cam Shepard, the shortstop. It's on the second base side. So Shepard, the shortstop, Tally, the second baseman, into a shift. But Aaron Schunk, the third baseman's playing even with the bag over at third. Most of the time, you will see the third baseman push closer to the shortstop position. Mendoza has the entire left side of the field if he hits it on the ground.
Three hits for Mendoza yesterday, a pair of 2-run home runs and an opposite field double. Mendoza looks like a big leaguer, 6'5", 230. First team All-ACC. He's a statistics major, And all of his offensive stats are through the roof. Mid-90s fastball ran inside. Came in 3rd in the country in walks, 5th in the country in walks per game, and leading the ACC in on-base percentage. And there's a difference. A 386 BABIP. 2-1 is in the dirt. Mendoza was a good athlete, Lake Mineola High School. He was a leading scorer on his high school basketball team. And he was the top-rated high school player in the nation to attend college when he came out 3 years ago. There's ball 4. Nope, a strike. Huh. Full count.
This one got Mike Martin Jr. to take his helmet off right away. 3-1 slider. Drew Mendoza thought it was up. Travis Reiniger didn't.
Throw over to first to keep Reese Albert near the bag. It's Salvatore at 3rd.
Be surprised if Albert's running right here. 3-2 count, less than 2 outs. A lot of times you see Mike Martin Jr. put him in motion. This is swing and miss stuff, though.
There's a punch out. And Mendoza's got to be careful.
This ball's outside. It's a very good pitch if you're Emerson Hancock, and for a lot of guys, you're going to get a swing at it. But to me, it looks like it's off the plate. Mason Meadows is out there, has to go get it. That ball's off the plate. And Mendoza strikes out a lot. That's his 65th of the year, but he also walks a lot. He's got 64 walks. It's a really good eye, and I think his eye was the right one there.
That's garbage, man. That's really bad. Back-to-back borderline calls to punch out Mendoza. Instead of the bases loaded, nobody out. Around the corners with 1 down for Robbie Martin. Full house here at Foley Field in Florida State. On the road in the regionals for the first time in a long time. It's a program that's used to playing at home and used to finishing in Omaha.
All right, let's check in Los Angeles. Shea Langoliers, 5 for 5. He's already got 11 RBIs, which is a new NCAA tournament record. 6th at bat. See if he can pile on.
Been at second. Langoliers to left. Will it stay fair? No. Wow. Wow. Almost. Just out in front.
Watch this. I mean, it's out. He knows it's out.
I think he's dialed in. I'm going on the limb here. Inside.
He is really locked in. And how do you know when a hitter's locked in? When he takes a pitch like that, he walks towards the plate, rocks, but his left shoulder doesn't even move.
Jacob Moeller on the mound. 2-2 to Langoliers. Strike 3 call.
Good pitch.
Caught looking, Langoliers. Denied.
Well, it's a good pitch it really is. It's on the outside part, but you like his reaction, and you know.
Now that is a 2-box right there. Let's head to Fayetteville, Arkansas, threatening bases loaded 2 outs against TCU ace Nick Lodolo.
Understand.
And if you don't have a hat, you just use the drink that's in your cup.
I see a Coke over there.
Could be a beverage of your choice.
Nothing in 1 pitch. Strike 2. Lodolo was in this spot moments ago and then hit Franklin. Can he get the strikeout or the out that he needs ever so desperately in a lengthy 4th inning? Big moment in the ball game. And Nesbitt stays alive, and everybody breathes a little easier here.
That's a tough pitch. That's fastball away. Yet Nesbitt is able to fight it off. Fans appreciate it.
Again, the 0-2 delivery. What tension at the yard here. And what qualifies to be a regional semifinal game. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Count 0-2. 27th pitch of the inning for Nick Lodolo. He got him. Call a third strike. Wow. Despite walking 3 and hitting a man, Nick Lodolo dodges the bullet in the 4th. Still 0-0.
Let's head back to Lubbock. Dallas Baptist threatening. Good ball game here.
Spins in there just off the plate. Preceding called strike led to that strikeout right there.
DBU head coach Dan Hefner coming out as Jackson Glenn is due up here in the number 4 spot. Trying to avoid stranding yet another runner, as they've left 7 on base already, and they get the tying run on again here in the 7th.
Protecting his player right there. I think Glowinky might have had a couple of words for Kellen Levy.
Which may or may not have been "have a good evening." These DBU hitters have to be ready to protect every part of the plate with Floyd on the mound.
Yeah, he's working in, out, up, down. Changing speeds very well. That's what makes him so effective. He can change speeds with the slider. He can change speeds with his fastball. He's thrown one in there at 92 and a fastball in there at 87.
High playable to left. Wilson was deep, so he encroaches and ends the inning. 8 stranded for DBU. A 1-run game goes to the 8th. Middle of the lineup on the way.
All right, let's go to Oxford now. 3-0 home team. Runner on first here in the bottom of the 3rd. Not going to turn 2, but there is 1 out.
Hawkins reaches on a fielder's choice. How about this? Longest tenured coaches at SEC, Mike Bianco on a page there with Nick Saban. Nick Saban, 12 seasons in Tuscaloosa. Cal's been at Kentucky for 10 years. Mike Bianco, longest tenured coach of any of the major 3 men's sports in the Southeastern Conference.
Took one of my first recruiting trips to McNeese State when Coach Bianco was the head coach there in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
And you pronounced it right, didn't you? You got to be from Louisiana to do that, right? To not call it McNeese, but McNeese.
McNeese State.
Saw our buddy Mike Rooney was getting on to Dave Neal earlier today for calling them McNeese, which is how most of the free world would pronounce it.
I didn't even think about that. McNeese State.
Bryce Teodosio at the plate. Swings and misses behind in the count 0-2.
Boy, the crowd loved that one. Woo, as he swung over that ball.
Over the top of it by 6-8 inches.
Good breaking ball.
Teodosio only hitting .215 on the year, but he has got some pop in his bat. 9 home runs and 32 runs batted in. Got a piece of the elevated fastball to stay alive.
Yeah, not your typical 9-hole. You think you're just going to go right and attack at it. You attack him, he's got a lot of pop. He can do some damage with it. Casey's breaking ball right now is really good. It's sharp, big breaking, but it's enough to keep the guys off balance. Just slow enough.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Doug Nikhazy.
So Vogelmoor, who has a solo home run in this game, now has a triple, leading off the 6th inning. He's on third.
Call pest control. ECU's got a bobcat problem, do they not?
Baker, the center fielder, has been playing about 2 or 3 steps more shallow than I've seen most center fielders play throughout this season, and he got burned on that one.
So no outs, and the runner at third, Vogelmoor, for Colton Bender. And time called. Another long walk to the mound.
Yeah, defensive positioning, John, you're always going to take a gamble, and you're going to steal a lot of base hits that were going to be line drives if you play shallow in the outfield, but you can definitely have a ball torched over your head, and that's what Baker did. But watch Baker. When this ball's hit, he just flat out has to turn his head and just go on a dead sprint. Now, I don't know if he's going to catch that ball or not.
That regional is going to be crazy. As Sean says, those who say I have a problem clearly do not understand the regional.
Yes.
Hashtag bases loaded.
We're set up. Are those gloves there?
Where?
What do we got there? No, that's not a glove.
What are you looking at?
He's got a lot of screens, though.
Get your glasses.
Goodness gracious.
Go Red Sox. This is bases loaded. Let's go to Morgantown, where Duke knows how to win regionals. They did it last year against Georgia on the road in another home road regional against a national seed here against West Virginia. The runner standing there on second.
So it's either going to be bases empty, 2 outs if the call is overturned, or Loperfido at second with 1 out, and they're not going to overturn the call. Call stands. It wasn't confirmed. It was call stands, so there wasn't enough evidence to overturn the call on the field. Loperfido is at second with 1 out. Here's the 3-hole hitter, first baseman Matt Mervis. Mervis in the first inning doubled to right and scored on the Rothenberg triple. Got a decent hack. Ball and a strike.
Matt Mervis had bad intentions with that swing. He was wanting to do damage.
Two balls and a strike on Mervis. Matt Mervis, a DC area kid, was drafted out of Georgetown Prep out of high school by the Washington Nationals in the 30.
Greenville, Quinnipiac, here's the replay. Ground out, runner at third did not score for obvious reasons. 1 out here. Go ahead run still at third.
With no outs and your runner on third, you have got to let that ball go through the infield, especially if it's hit at a player playing in. If it was hit to shorter third, kind of more up the middle, then you can score.
You know what I like as well? He made that quick look to third base and then headed to first. You can't hesitate, right?
Yeah, he kind of froze that runner.
Huscher gives it a ride to right. Burleson will settle under it. Runner headed towards home. The strong throw by Burleson to the plate, and he is dead meat. Bang, bang, double play. How do you like that? Evan Vogelmore caught it home by Alec Burleson, who can do it all.
That could be the game shift in the momentum that ECU was looking for. When you've got a pitcher in the outfield who's got an absolute cannon, he throws a dart and right on the money for the third out.
He's a pitcher, and he threw a strike, Rooney. You are welcome.
Wordsmithing.
LSU 1-0 top 5.
But he didn't throw a lot. No. We were told Carroll, Tweedy would be the first two options, and then if it's a save situation, Stanley would be the man for Southern Miss. In the air, left center. Montenegro has it measured and makes the catch. And Southern Miss has already turned 3 double plays to end the inning.
Yeah, they've been spot on. 2 have been line drive right there. Antoine Duplantis hits one as hard as you can hit one. Slater picks it up, steps on the bag. Then you get a line drive. Hal Hughes kind of left out to dry right there. And this one right here was just a tailor-made, just step on the bag. The second baseman Gidrian over to first base, and that was a big one there because you had runners on first and third, but only 1 out. Southern Miss turns its 3rd double play.
Now the 9-hole hitter Hal Hughes pops a bunt back foul. Hal Hughes trying to snap a nasty 0 for 20. He did walk his last time on. Hughes in the air, popped up. It'll be Guidry putting it away for the 2nd out of the inning. I'll tell you what, Walker Powell just continues.
Andrew DeSatis is up for Florida State. We will get to that in just a moment. Georgia Tech with a 5-1 lead on the top of the 4th. And West Virginia down 2-0.
With Alex Manoah on the mound, that doesn't happen.
You had to be confident with West Virginia coming in, knowing you had the top 10 pick coming up on the mound after you saved it yesterday.
Duke has been a different team in the second half. Once their second baseman, Joey Lopofito, got healthy, they were 22-11 down the stretch. So a different team than maybe their seed would let you know. Boy, Manoah's got a bazooka for an arm, 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
But that is his 4th walk in 2 1/3 innings.
Anytime you pitch to a 2.6 ERA for the season, and you only walk 12 guys coming in.
Breaking ball, line to center, and coming on to make the catch is Franklin. Powell.
All right, LSU with a 1-0 lead on the Golden Eagles of Southern Miss.
Morgantown, right?
USA, yeah.
Where are we headed?
Well, there's a pitching conversation, and you can't just have bases loaded without a conversation. We're going to go there in a moment.
Like that.
Look at Athens here.
It's magical.
A little surprise. Florida State. It's the marquee game of the night.
That one blocked by Meadows. Flowers breaks for third, and he is there with a head first slide. And Meadows going to have a word with Hancock.
And that one just tugged on the fastball. I think Meadows needs to go out and give himself a break, too. I thought that one hit him on the wrist, and it may have hit just on the heel of the glove, but that was a great break by J.C. Flowers on second base because you don't see Hancock pull that too many fastballs. He's trying to go away, pulls it to the glove side. Meadows gets a glove on it, but the minute it got away, Flowers is standing on third base. Now it changes the inning. Now Georgia brings the infield in with a 3-2 pitch. Fly ball deep enough gives the Noles the lead.
Only 2nd wild pitch of the season for Hancock. So Emerson Hancock wipe his glove along the side of his jersey. What does that mean for pitcher?
You can mean a few things. One, you're just trying to swipe and change location, or potentially trying to swipe and change what the actual pitch is. It's a little very different.
They agree on this
The payoff. Great ball, foul territory. Sullivan over he slips. And couldn't make the catch. His back shot. Robert's going to come home. J.C. Flowers campers home with the go-ahead run for Florida State. After Sullivan, the short-handed first baseman lost his feet. And this is where the second baseman got help. I know that Talley played the whole plane like right there. There's a different route to this ball that both are used to. Watch out, Talley just peel off right. And that's one where he has to keep going because it's a much longer ride. He's got 4 walks here for the third. And two chances too. So it's really low.
Well, if you're Manoa, you need swing and miss. And the good news is that's what you have. Swing and miss fastball and a swing and miss slider. And all year he has had an extra gear when he's needed it.
Kyle Gallagher has struck out 58 times this season. And he is at the plate. And make it 59.
Wow. Alex Manoa will bark at you a little bit now.
He said something there.
Yeah, he's not out here to make friends. That is a wicked slider.
Pitch out and nothing to do what they say to us. And it's a strike.
How about that? We had a pitch out for a strike.
Carter
Upper
Smith,
left.
you got a kid.
That's interesting. Meadows comes out and then frames it.
It's not a strike.
That was outside.
Yeah, I mean,
Mike Martin
most
Jr.
pitch outs are balls.
About to lose his mind.
Yeah, but I mean,
Wasn't well executed, though.
You would think,
at bat in the third inning. Two borderline
with the way he was set up, the umpire would have given it. Manoa goes
time.
home.
Mendoza
Get the force out, held on to it. Not a tag play, obviously.
Play
But
later, which
that ends the inning.
Play off of Robbie Martin's bat.
Look at Manoa picking up the gear. Go to Athens here.
That's a strike, nothing to two. Runner not going. Pitch is lasered into right field. Desedas on his way to third. Riley King finally gets it off of the warning track. It's a stand-up double for Carter Smith. Second double this inning for Florida State. Georgia, one of 10 SEC teams in. That's a record. That includes Ole Miss. For more, here's Zubin. Zubin knows his stuff. I love it. I mean, I'm more of a city grocery kind of guy.
You don't go wrong with either one of those.
Big Bad Breakfast, not a bad spot.
Go to Greenville, where we saw Quinnipiac get a runner thrown out at the plate in the last half inning with the right fielder making a play and Burleson. How about this throw? Little tit for tat.
Touche.
As the
Look at
captain
that.
and president of the Florida State club team.
Becker is up. They're going to show what he's done so far. He's got 3 home runs on the season. All have come in the regional. 2 yesterday, 1 today. And you heard Tom Hart mention he was the former president of his club team at Florida State for the last couple of years.
Just incredible.
He said yesterday he tracked the ball towards the scoreboard, saw the pitcher's reaction, knew it was special. This is special. He'll get home Desedas. They're going to send Smith. The throw to the plate is wide, and Tim Becker delivers again.
man. I mean, this is 2 home runs yesterday. The home run today is one thing.
The right fielder for
You're facing a guy in Emerson Hancock that's mid-90s. Gets a first pitch changeup. Tim Becker swings through it. Watch how he stays on this one. That's another changeup, and you can see the glove from Meadows was turned over, thinking that ball was going to be down in the dirt. Becker keeps the barrel.
6 Pirate hits.
Also a heads-up play by.
Well, if you're Mike Martin trying to end your career on a high note, you might as well lean on a guy who used to play club baseball. Quinnipiac and ECU here in the bottom of the 6th.
That's when you know you're a wizard.
Long look at Brady Lloyd by Enns. Cat and mouse game continues.
Like that timeout call by Francisco. If you're a hitter, don't let that pitcher freeze you. But I got to tip my hat to Enns. That's a good job. You go out there and just hold that baseball. The hitter starts getting stiff.
Yep.
Gripping that bat a little too tight.
Just missed high. What's the confidence level for Francisco against Enns? He's proven he can hit him.
I think it's pretty high. Again, you still have to think with that motion, you try to hit that ball inside out, hit that ball to left field.
Out in front. Francisco, a freshman who has excelled.
Try box for you. LSU
and
and Southern Miss. The Golden Eagles have a 2-out double to set up a chance to tie this one in the 5th. Arkansas and TCU, you knew we might be in a little bit of a pitcher's duel here.
There goes Lloyd taking on.
Nicoladolo's on the mound and having a conversation there. ECU is not going to score there.
The only good news for ECU is Chris Enns is getting up in pitch count. Other than that, he's dominated them.
As you mentioned, Ben, the strike zone has been consistent, but it is tight.
It is. I mean, it resembles a big league strike zone tonight.
That's in there for strike 2. Oregon State, Cal Santa Barbara, Omaha, the last few teams to be eliminated from this postseason. The count is 1-2.
Now look for the high fastball again. We'll see.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The winner of this game will sit back and wait till tomorrow night. And it'll be 1 victory away from a super regional.
Yeah, the winner of this game goes to what we call the catbird seat, right? You got to be beaten twice. Not kidding, Lance. Well, everybody else.
What's going on there in Baton Rouge and also in Fayetteville? The Arkansas Razorbacks
3-2
taking on TCU. Nicoladolo, be a high round draft pick there on the mound.
Just a little bit off the black.
You think the baseball is good in Southern California? Nicoladolo, SoCal. Dominic Fletcher, the hitter, SoCal.
He didn't offer at him. Now he's running the count.
The whole country recruiting that area.
Just a base hit away. There's Montenegro and Southern Miss from tying this thing up.
Fletcher 0 for 2 today for Arkansas.
Upstairs, ball
Now
4.
2 on for Southern Miss with 2 outs.
For Henry, the first since the 2nd inning.
Wow.
Swing and miss, and that will do it for the 5th. Go to the bottom 5. TCU, one of the last 4 teams into the field.
Todd Peterson is ready down in the bullpen.
Hanging with the number 5 national seed, Arkansas. We're scoreless there. Palminteri going to the mound for LSU, so we go to Morgantown.
And now
And another runner out at the plate here. Let's watch the review. They're going to replay it and likely review it here.
This call at the plate as well. Well, Mervis got in with the first run. Rothenberg trying to get in with the second. And they're going to review this play at home. The tag was on the back of Rothenberg. Tough to tell from that angle. Let's see if this one does. Got the left hand eventually on the plate, but was it before the tag on the back from Gonzalez?
Wow. Dare I say review gate?
Well, all I'll say is this. If this call gets overturned, I don't know what this crowd's going to do, but it ain't going to be pretty. And they call him out. They uphold the call. So for a momentary reprieve, the fans applaud.
All right, so one scores and out at home. And how about Duke? 4-0 on West Virginia.
Wow.
Results in 2 additional
Meanwhile,
runs
Texas Tech,
for Duke. So
90 feet away from insurance here with a 3-2 lead on Dallas Baptist. That's in Lubbock.
Now what does he come back with here? Back-to-back breaking balls to get it to 2-2.
He's been trying to overthrow the fastball. The breaking ball brings you back into your zone because you have to stay back on it. If he can stay back with the fastball, he's got Trimble looking for that curveball because he can't hit it. You can sneak the fastball upstairs or stick with what he's been swinging through, and that's the breaking ball.
Bayless came on in the 7th to pick up where Martinson left off. Struck out the first 4 he faced. Hasn't struck one out since. It's 2-2. Makes it 3-2. Here comes payoff pitch. Roller foul to third. Parker Kelly was charging it with a deep down the third base line. He slipped.
Could have been a catastrophe right there.
Yeah. Jackson Glenn, the third baseman, wasn't close enough to the bag to make it anything worth pursuing. But had he been close, that could have been the end to the inning.
Or if he goes down. He didn't go all the way down. If he hits the ground right there, it's an out. Then he doesn't do it again. Coach came up and said, hey, chill out.
A tumble without a rumble at third. Just a whisper as he hit the turf.
He's tried it again.
Another 3-2. Here comes Glenn. Cross the diamond, and we go bottom 9. A trip to the Lubbock Regional Championship game on the line. DBU needs a couple.
See if Taylor Floyd can finish the job for Texas Tech. Meanwhile, in Greenville, tied at 3 in the 7th. Some great action on the diamond tonight.
I'd be really shocked if they take him loose right here with this power. With ball forward, that just like I said, that time runner could go ahead and move into scoring position. That's the goal anyway, because that's get that runner in scoring position.
Sesame Street still on deck. Oh, he rips one. Deep to left. This folks is a no-doubter. I think it's coming down somewhere near Charlotte, North Carolina. My, oh my, that was a blast. 2-run shot of Bobcat lead by 4.
Absolutely destroyed. I think that had to be at least 425, 400
good insurance. Literally hit it over the trees into the street. You obliterated it. Well, that you wish you had some of the analytics there. Some of the technology that some schools have that measure distance. Well, maybe yes. I'm serious. It's got to be 430, at least 440. You're 6'4" and weigh 265 pounds, and you got to hit that ball. It's going to be 430, 40 feet. Quick job coming to the mound. The reactions by the pitcher, and then the one was left field backer. I guess he was holding a ball. My goodness. Spirited animal. Final 3 outs here for DBU. It's not an elimination game. This is a winner's bracket game. Winner goes to a regional final. 40 or so on strike. That's a in the mood of Floyd. See what he would pitch with. It's down. One starter, one reliever both sides today. Outside from Florida. Kelly went 4 2/3 and allowed those 2 DBU runs. So offers are 3-2 foul ground. Not out. Taylor Lord always attack that. Got one look at that. The biggest play in this game for DBU came down to 6. Runner in scoring position, and he got the board. So was that play on a full count pitch like this one. She hits high in the air left center field. Wilson has on that breakthrough pitch. Sosa got hit in the elbow. And immediately the plate umpire Kelly said no, leaned into it. Strike 3. It went to video view. The call was confirmed. And that ended up being the second out of the inning. After that, Augie Isaacson steps in here, grounded out, inning over. That was the last scoring threat for DBU, which has 2 outs to work with here. Isaacson's got speed. Haven't seen him use it with the bunt so far here. That's why they like him in the number 9 spot.
Floyd's been good. Came in relief of Caleb Killian. 3 2/3 has not yielded a hit. 1 walk, couple hit batters, 3 strikeouts, but kept Dallas Baptist off the scoreboard. More important.
To 2-2 on Isaacson. The redshirt senior hoping to spark a rally for the Patriots. Payout pitch, struck him out looking.
3-2 goes with the backdoor breaking ball. Isaacson floats it right in on that outside corner. Perfect pitch.
All right, to show you, Cole Zabowski is up right now and trying to blow this one wide open for the number 12 national seed Ole Miss Rebels. Like Bianco has to like what he's seeing there with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And Texas Tech is 1 out away from advancing to the regional finals. Zabowski down the left field line.
Look at that crowd. Look at both of these crowds. Gosh, the environments this weekend have been amazing.
He returns where he began.
Fayetteville, Oxford, Athens, Baton Rouge, Morgantown.
Morgantown's hopping. Did you say Greenville?
I did not.
Greenville's hopping. Although they got a bobcat problem, they still have loose bobcats.
Tech just got thrown out at the plate. It's 5-1 Yellow Jackets there on Auburn. Taylor Floyd trying to finish the deal, 2-2.
Yes.
From a double to a try. Nelson Matthews going to be up now for Florida State.
Swing and a miss.
Wow.
The ball game is over. And the Texas Tech Red Raiders will play for a regional championship tomorrow night.
We got what we were looking for. We got a really good ball game out of both of these squads. Good starting pitching, better bullpens. A big shot in the second by Cameron Warren. 3 runs for Tech in the bullpen.
So that means Dallas Baptist will play
Wins this ball game 3-2.
Florida tomorrow in an elimination game. Winner of that game will face Texas Tech in the regional final. They'll have to beat Texas Tech twice, once tomorrow and then once again on Monday in the if necessary game. Every time Texas Tech has won a regional, they made it to the College World Series, 3 for 3. See if they win the regional this year. Florida State 5-2, bottom 5. Tom Hart, Kyle Peterson here on the call.
Ole Miss, one of an SEC record 10 teams in the 64-team field. SEC 10-3 overall, 3-0 today. That one sails to the backstop, a breaking ball that didn't break, and a wild pitch will allow Mendoza to go to third and Martin to replace him at second. Texas Tech just finished off their win against Dallas Baptist. The Red Raiders looking to return to Omaha.
Texas Tech's been in Omaha 3 of the last 5 years. Now in a good spot to advance out of their own. Just a breaking ball that slipped out of the hand of Ryan Webb. Nothing Mason Meadows can do right there. And again, it forces Scott Strickland to bring the infield in down 3 here.
Nelson goes down swinging. 1 down. Let's get you back to the studio. I'll check in with Zubin.
All right, they go to Zubin. We go to this tweet. Brewer
Yes,
Hendricks.
Brewer.
I give to you Octoview.
Oh gosh, Brewer.
The Octobox. Does he even need us?
Not all heroes wear capes, Matt Schick. I mean, it's a great American right there.
Some heroes wear socks.
No shoes. You go, Brewer.
Do it, Brewer.
Hum you.
We'll bring you our feeble little single game that we're showing you right now.
Hashtag weak sauce.
Florida State, Georgia.
He said, just go up there and throw. Dad was a college football player at Florida A&M. And for 2 years, he didn't throw. He originally showed up at Florida State in his first fall as a freshman. He got on the mound, but he had a hard time locating the strike zone. So they pulled him aside. They said, why don't we just focus on playing the outfield and hitting?
And then coming into this fall, they said, hey, you want to throw again? He hadn't thrown off the mound in 2 years. And now he's one of the best closers in the country.
Yeah, it took him about 8 pitches. Mike Martin Jr. looked out and said, that's our closer right there. So I don't care what you've done the last 2 years, and you're still going to play center, but you're going to be 60 feet away from home plate at the back end of the game.
Webb skips it home, blocked by Meadows. 11 saves and a 1.59 ERA, 13 home runs.
Flowers this season, opponents hitting 195. Home run number 13 came yesterday.
Dave Van Horn's going to challenge this play and say that was not an out at second base. The ump ruled it an out, ruling that he had it, and then it was lost on the exchange. What do you think, Runes? Never had it. Never had it. That ball's coming out of his mitt.
I mean, it came out quickly, but remember, a double play exchange is going to be super fast. I don't know. That was.
If the two of us could figure it out, there's 4 of them. You're going to look at it. That's the universal sign, by the way. Get the headset.
Yeah, that's right.
Get the headset.
If you just joined us, Georgia starter Emerson Hancock lasted just
that's going to change
4
that
innings,
game.
allowed 9 hits in a season-high 5 runs.
Ryan Webb now on the mound for Georgia. Man, the ball's coming right out. That's the best angle. Watch this, Runes.
5 runs allowed today is the most.
The hand's not even reaching into the ball.
He didn't control it enough. You could see them overturning that for sure. You know, of course, you're taught on a double play not to control the base, so you're taught to ricochet it into your throwing hand, but it's a bad luck when the ball's on the turf.
Not showing much ball control.
No, you're not.
Barry Melrose would join the show to break down
Game 3 of St. Louis tonight. Game 2 keys for both teams in the NBA Finals. We got Warriors coming back in that series.
Are you talking about the 2020 NBA Finals when the Sixers make it back?
After softball on ESPN and the ESPN
I was not.
app.
It's unfortunate.
Bases loaded.
Be an interesting review. Safe. It's a big play right there.
Huge play. And that's TCU. That's been their problem. Bad defense. They really have an offense that can take them far and plenty of starting pitching. They just have not played good catch.
Erstad was not leaving second base, and he will stay there.
This one will get out of play. Sullivan gave it a look, but it's onto the concourse. Ender DeSatis from Panama City, Panama.
All right, let's listen to Fayetteville now. No offense to Tom Hart. Listen now, Arkansas and TCU. No score here.
Sacrifice here, and you want to butt the ball down the third baseline. The idea is to force Shepard, the third baseman, to come in to vacate his position so Kerstad can reach third base.
Both fielders in at the corners, Shepard and Gunther. Another scoring spot for Arkansas. And it's popped up. And a diving catch made, and a chance for, well, no chance for a double play. Well, what a catch.
That's a tremendous play by Humphreys. He got from behind the plate and up after that ball, and the sliding catch into the wall. This is tremendous. Look at the ground that he covers. Slides, gets the glove underneath. It rattles around a bit, but he maintains control, no doubt.
He sure did. It didn't go up against the board.
That's a catch.
Another Sports Center potential there.
We've seen some defensive plays in this ball game. That's another one of them.
Well, I'm not sure what the fans are upset about. The ball didn't touch the wall at all.
Well, that's another one of those little things. You get it done, you get a scoring opportunity. If you don't, it's glaring, and it doesn't work out for Arkansas.
So Jacob Nesbitt, who has struck out twice, now steps to the plate. Of course, that was against Nick Lodolo. Facing Halen Green here. Arkansas has left 5 on the last 2 innings, Scott. 2 aboard again. What a play by Zach Humphreys. We said earlier it would come down to defense and making the big plays. We have seen several on both sides. Again, nobody's blinked. Bottom of the Arkansas lineup is 0 for 6 without a ball hit out of the infield. So this is a big spot for Halen Green. Trying to get out of yet another jam. This one created at the top of the inning. Ball and 2 strikes. Arkansas coming in 269 against left-handers, 50 points better against right-handers, and they're seeing nothing but left-handers so far. 3 batters have been left on in scoring position, 7 for the night for Arkansas. And the 1-2. Bounce toward third, foul ball. Tom Newman on a call over at third base. Make that Newsome, excuse me. Heston Kjerstad running at second. Jack Kinley at first. Count of ball and 2 strikes on Jacob Nesbitt, with Casey Opitz to follow, the number 9 hitter. Base hit left field. Will they send him? Right now they've got the hold sign on and the bases are loaded. Ball gets away, but not far enough to allow Kjerstad to advance. So Nesbitt, who had struck out twice, delivers a bullet to left field and they're loaded.
Nander DeSatis, you saw that RBI single for Florida State. 7-2, Noles.
And that's Emerson Hancock they're going to beat. That's just not something that you saw in Georgia's future, was Emerson Hancock losing a regional game.
Hancock went 4 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned runs. One of the best pitchers statistically in the nation. No score here in the 6th, bases loaded.
Well, they're going to play for 2 up the middle and play for 2 on the infield. And if you're Casey Opitz, you're looking for a pitch that you can elevate and hit deep to the outfield.
Takes a fastball for a strike. 0-1. Kjerstad, Kenley, Nesbitt, third, second, and first. Opitz is 2 for 10 with the bases loaded. Sac fly would plate the first run. Green to the plate. Up the middle, base hit. It's going to score 1. It's going to score 2. Throw to third base, runner out. But the Razorbacks have taken a 2-0 lead.
Casey Opitz comes up big, hitting this pitch down in the zone, back through the middle. A lot of RBIs are in the middle of the field. He stays down through it. The ball off the mound. Oviedo could not get to it. And scores. Heston Kjerstad as well as Kenley. Jacob Nesbitt, a little aggressive on the bases, especially to Nate Thompson's liking, as he's thrown out at third for the 2nd out of the inning.
So now a man aboard with 2 outs, but Arkansas had 2-0. How about the bottom of this order, Scott, after going 0 for 6?
TCU throwing the ball around a little bit now, just on the pickoff play.
Yeah. A little bit rattled here. Anyway, the bottom of the order for the Hogs have been 0 for 6.
Dave Van Horn's calling for a balk.
Yeah. Then Nesbitt got a 2-strike hit. And then Opitz came through with a base hit to center field to score 2. The 8 and 9 hitters on the lineup.
Production at the bottom.
Arkansas now 2-6-0. TCU 0-2-0. Trevor Ezel, who has struck out, singled in the infield, and doubled to center. Different game, certainly different team, but Razorback bats didn't warm up till about the middle of the game yesterday. And then it sprayed the ball all over the field and over the wall.
Well, not unusual for the first few times, particularly in a pitcher that you haven't seen yet this year, where the hitters are taking inventory and getting an idea of what they feature, but then you start to see hitters make adjustments second and third time through the order.
So Florida State is having a pretty fun time here, Mr. Mike Rooney. Carter Smith with a bomb, and it's 10-2 Noles.
Just a week ago, we were worried if Florida State was going to get into a regional. Now, I mean, they are look at that.
Now the Razorbacks have got some house money.
And obviously, they have work to do. They still have to win tomorrow if they hold on to win this game. But you think about it.
2 strikes, 2 outs.
I mean, they just put a 10 spot on Emerson Hancock's start.
It could be a special end here. You hate to fast forward too far here. You still got some work to do in Athens, but the winner of the Athens Regional takes on the winner of the Baton Rouge Regional.
Mm-hmm.
And if LSU wins that regional, it would be Florida State if they win the regional final tomorrow or Monday.
1-2.
Heading to LSU if LSU takes care of its business. And what a series that could be as you think about the possibilities.
Well, and think about that 8-team pod. The team that looked most invincible was Georgia. LSU has been up, down, and all over the joint this year, and same for Southern Miss and Arizona State and Florida State, but Georgia's been the team that's been consistent and dominant, and Florida State having no problem with them tonight.
Show you it. East Carolina, Alec Burleson, great at the plate. Also a pitcher playing right field tonight, has a put out and an assist from right field. And now with 2 on, and Burleson a chance to cut into this lead.
Uh-oh, did you get it? Nope.
5-3, the Bobcats from the MAAC.
The MAC.
That's why I spell it, because I don't like to say that.
The Q baseball. The Q.
That was that breaking ball that attempted to be the backdoor variety from Halen Green. Ezel was having none of it as he stays on top of the ball, keeps it fair down the right field line, gets that RBI as a result, and trades places with Casey Opitz.
We know the play at second was overturned, which allowed there to be runners at first and second, nobody out, instead of a force out. But I go back to something again mentioned at the beginning, the defense on TCU. And while it had been very good up until that spot, it looms a little larger in this inning. This crowd smelling blood right now with this team up 3-0. And with 7 hits in the game and a runner at second, Casey Martin still trying to burst out of a slump. Has a 2-0 count. And the way pitcher Isaiah Campbell has been dealing tonight for Arkansas, 3 runs is large.
His biggest problem right now is staying loose during this long break in between innings.
Got something in his right hand. So it's a little baseball. Count 2-1. He's ready to go to work, though. A lengthy top of the 6th and a big one for Arkansas. Martin, line drive caught, hit it well, but right at Jake Gunther.
Let's take you to a tweet. David says, okay, I admit I had to look up where Quinnipiac University was located. Hamden, Connecticut, for those not sure as well. Hashtag bases loaded. Viewing college baseball playoffs. That is like the longest run-on sentence.
Where's the hashtag Bobcats? Come on now.
That's very true.
A lot of Bobcats in Connecticut.
Tweet at Redhorn80. Get him some followers, would you?
7 straight is carried.
Evan Volgamore is up right now, not to be confused with Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, there's no Evan Volgamore. There is just the superhero known as Volgamore.
From the Harry Potter novels. Here he is. He's got a triple. He's got a home run. And Quinnipiac has a 2-run lead.
There's no easy.
Gosh, they have played tremendous.
Not this. 3 teams from the state of Connecticut are in the field.
It's a good job.
UConn won today. Central Connecticut State won today. Quinnipiac. Seth, our producer, called this morning. He said all 3 Connecticut teams are going to win.
And breaks it over the plate. You can't.
All right, I like it. What's this? What do we call it up here? What is Connecticut? The what state?
The nutmeg state.
Oh, of course.
That's one you got to be ready for.
Boy, there's nutmeg everywhere.
Gattuso, he can't swing at a pitcher's pitch.
That just missed.
That's an outstanding take. It's down, but as a hitter, you want to go up there. You want to produce. You want to be a guy that's swinging the bat and making things happen, but you're going to help your team more by taking that pitch and possibly drawing a walk right here.
Taking all the way at 3-0. It must take so much discipline, especially against a guy like Giles who doesn't throw that hard. You're used to facing 90+. Giles comes in the game, and it's more craftiness and more painting the corners, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where you have to have a lot of patience. You got to sit back. You know he's not going to throw the pitch past you. Even on that fastball, I think he was a little bit, I think that was a breaking ball. It's only 76 miles an hour, but out in front. And again, right here, you have to have a lot of patience. So your mindset is take that ball right back up the middle, because if you get a ball pitch, even a fastball from Giles in the inside corner, Volgamore's got enough hand speed to pull that baseball.
And think about the Bobcats from the numbers perspective, ranked 177th in the RPI against the 5th ranked RPI team in the nation, ECU. And the quick throw to first as they try to get Osberg napping.
Osberg was going. He was leaning on that play, and if we can get another look on it, he was lucky to get back. Watch right here. His first movement is to second base. He's like, uh-oh. That is such a bad feeling. I think he might have got stepped on, too, over there.
And if you're just joining us, Quinnipiac prolific stealing bases, 106 this season. And the walk. Volgamore on again. No outs and runners at first and second for Quinnipiac. And the catcher, Colton Bender, coming up.
Without getting a base hit.
All right, top of the hour.
In those situations.
Georgia Tech with a 5-2 lead on Auburn as a run has just come across.
How many opportunities you're going to have.
And LSU with a 4-0 lead on Southern Miss, but runners on the corners with 2 outs. Kind of either now or never here for the Golden Eagles. Bad throw.
Joining us late, Cole Henry was up to the task tonight.
Watch this with Georgia Tech.
Ooh. 5 shutout innings.
Safe.
For LSU.
Our good friend Teddy Cahill from Baseball America trying to tell me that pitchers are athletes, but I would say that would be an exhibit that movement would want erased. Although the closer for Baylor did have a hit tonight. That's hurting my cause.
This is true.
Kyle Hill.
If you'd like that last sentence erased.
1 and 2.
Complicated one. All right, Georgia Tech 5-2 lead here.
And they pitched like
as Connor Thomas on the mound. Connor Davis at the plate for Auburn. So let's go to Atlanta. Danny Hall watching, looking on. We will do that as well. Tying run at the plate.
Now 7 home runs on the season. Blocked by McCann. Runner takes off for second. Out at second base. Wilhite took the throw from McCann. Again, aggressive base running this time. It does not pay off.
Well, you have to make sure, and that's a nice job by McCann to keep control of that baseball. And look at that tag. You may have another replay look at this one.
If the second base umpire Jeff Henricks is watching Wilhite tag the foot of Bliss. How is he watching the hand go into the base?
Yeah, it's a tough call right there.
So right now, Bliss out. And McCann doing a nice job on the throw. And the runner at third, Ward, stayed put.
Yeah, I think he's out. I think he made the tag before the hand got in. I think he's out.
You see Ward, he's going back to the base.
Yeah. He got him on the ankle. And again, aggressive base running, ball in the dirt, and a great job by Kyle McCann to keep the ball in front and make a strong throw right there. Down by 3, you have to be 100% sure that you can take that extra 90 feet. When you look from that angle, they got him on the foot, not the ankle.
If he's out, he takes Davis out of a situation where he was the tying run at the plate.
Now from this angle, I may change my mind. Still think he's out.
Headsets are off. Call is confirmed. Caught stealing 2-4.
Watch the job by McCann. Again, 23 home runs, but you also got to play the position, keeps the ball in front, kind of caroms off the heel, and you could see McCann, he was kind of shocked that Bliss took off from first. Made a great throw. That's a big second out.
Second base, Will Height to first, inning over.
All right, we're going to Greenville. Just to let you know, LSU did get out of that inning, still 4-0 in the top of the 7th. Now the Tigers with a runner on and nobody out. Nobody out here in Greenville.
And the bunt down by Bender in no man's land. It was a beauty. We're going to have the bases loaded. Colton Bender. The base hit off the bunt. I don't think he meant to hit it in that area necessarily, but you know what? It was perfectly placed, wasn't it?
It really was, because you had Brown, the shortstop, playing up the middle. And I mean, that's the bad angle. Look at that big hole, and he bunted it right to the big hole. I think he did mean to do it.
Maybe.
And you see the reaction by Burleson. He went out there and goes, "Where's my shortstop?" Well, he's standing behind second base.
Yeah, the shift reared its ugly head.
Absolutely.
And now to the mound again. Take another look here.
That is somebody, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Bender had radar for that hole at shortstop.
He's like, I'll just push bunt it. Well, that's the thing that sometimes those shifts do. They create monster holes, and if you have some good bat control, with these Quinnipiac hitters do, that you can take advantage of it. Well, think about it. If Quinnipiac is locked in a gym, or when there's snow on the ground, there's not a lot. You can take some batting practice, but you're going to get a ton of bunting practice.
Yep.
And these guys handle the bat outstanding. I don't think there's anybody on the team that Coach Delaney would be afraid of to try to bunt. Now, the Pirates are going to bring the infield in, so anything on the ground, they're going to try to come home and cut that run down. They cannot afford to give up another run.
And Kevin Husher, the batter. Good curveball in there by Burleson. Husher 1 for 3, hitting .275. What do you think Cliff Godwin just told Alec Burleson?
I think he just said, hey, you got to go right at him. And they think that they might safety squeeze, and that's why you may see a steady diet of breaking balls. It's a much more difficult ball to bunt that's moving than the flat fastball.
And a chopper foul. Husher was late, and now he's in the hole.
And Husher almost took that ball out of the catcher's mitt right there. It was like the swing was an afterthought.
Cliff Godwin lives and breathes this program. ECU grad, he's given his heart and soul to it. They were just an out away from reaching the College World Series in 2016 before it was sniped from them by Texas Tech.
Now, one thing you can do if you're at first or second base is you can get a huge secondary lead. That means when the pitch goes to the plate, every defender's in front of you. And so you can really get off a long ways as that pitch comes to the plate. Because look where they are. So as the pitch comes to the plate, if you're on second base, I mean, you can get off, 30, 40 feet because there's nobody around second to try to double you up.
Good observation. Huge lead at second. And the pitch by Husher.
But you got to love the reaction right there by Washer, the catcher.
I haven't checked in on Vanderbilt a lot because the game really hasn't been in question. But right now, perhaps a little bit of a question here with Vanderbilt and Indiana State in this winner's bracket. Rocker. About 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts, no walks. And he remains in the game. I'm sure Indiana State will tell you no victories, but being in this kind of game, you don't see that very often. And separating a few people. And top out of here he is. Going to be out. He's going to run already in this region. Reflect on Vanderbilt's accomplishments and NCAA's accomplishments. How about ECU? So who do we be trying to say, right? Why not? Oh my gosh. Somebody tell my wife you're buying $1,000 worth of Quinnipiac baseball merchandise this weekend. This is awesome. You better do that. I want every flavor of jersey. I want cues everywhere. They just tried to squeeze. I love it. They're bringing hot rockets. They put it again? I don't think so. By the way, Mark Vandy, if you're wondering why he looks like an defensive lineman, it's because his dad is Tracy Rocker, who is a defensive lineman. Quite a player. Highest ranked player to come to Kansas in freshman class, Mark Rocker. Everybody knows who's coming. Just a little bit. I like the company for years or something. I'm not exclusively to me. Wow. Now he's loaded. Earl's done everything. He's here at Carolina's middle to bat. It's Friday night. He's a closer. Love it. Got that one. And out of swing. 2-run yesterday against Maddie. By the way, guess who's up for Bob Bobcats? Liam Scaparello. You know it. What are big Liam? What are his metrics? 6'4", 265. That means I'm talking about. We just took that fast for him. He's built to be a lifer in the future, but for now, right fielder. He's 2019. That's a great ball. It's going to be this year's West, right? Oh, Burleson. Yeah, we'll break one more here and run into that. Greenfield is going to lose their minds and punch them out.
bases loaded on the out. Yeah. You just don't want to chase that fastball up in the zone. Struck out. Cruz. And strike out. Scaparella. Wow. He's the kind of player you want to see.
Oh, that was an awesome baseball moment right there.
Except he struck out Joe Carter right there.
Yes, he did.
All right, Vanderbilt 4-1 here in the bottom of the seventh. Kumar Rocker, a strikeout here in the inning.
Kumar's got a really good breaking ball.
7 Ks on the night.
1-2 now on Fagan. $63 strikes out of the 100 pitches for Kumar Rocker. Would love number 64 across the plate right here. And he got it. So 2 down now for Clay Dungan, the leadoff man in this lineup. 1 for 3.
But it's hit the ball well. Dungan with a base hit in the first. Struck it out to center field in the third. And then a bullet to second in the sixth.
And Tim Corbin's going to make a change right here on pitch 101. That's going to be it for Kumar Rocker. Boy, Kumar, he looks really good tonight.
Six and 2/3, 8 Ks, 1 run. Who has the best uniforms of college baseball today? They want to know. What do you think?
Best uni, Quinnipiac Bobcats, not close. Second best.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Me, blue pinstripe suit with the gold tie, not close. 3, I'll have to get back to you.
You said McNeese,
McNeese,
the best one,
McNeese.
and now you're not even in their top 3?
What have you done for me? Yeah, McNeese is number 1. I slide everybody down. I'm 3rd now.
Welcome back to ESPN Bases Loaded, presented by Capital One.
All right, we're going to Baton Rouge, and we have had a lot of controversy about this hit-by-pitch rule. Cooper was hit by the pitch. They're going to look at it. This has been a big issue with college baseball this year. Can you explain the rule to me, Mike Rooney?
So the new rule is for an umpire you have 2 options. Either you award, if there's a hit batter, you either give him first base, or if you feel like the batter did not get out of the way, purposely got hit, you have to call it a strike. It doesn't matter if the ball was thrown into the stands. It has to be called a strike.
Well,
now that right there, what's that kid supposed to do? Yeah, that's well done. The problem, Matt, is we've put the umpires in an impossible position. It's a bad rule. They did it to try and create, it's like the NFL where we're trying to have it be super punitive to change the behavior. For me, that's just way overboard. But it's put the umpires in a really tough spot.
Well, they got that one right. Paul Manera, you could see he was just talking to himself that entire review.
This is getting a little salty here. This is.
So now I got Zach Hess coming in, who
love it.
Was a reliever, closer, turned into starter this year, and then turned back over to the bullpen midway through.
2017, when he was in Omaha with LSU, he's the best pitcher in Omaha as a closer. Tried to make him a starter for 2 years, and it just hadn't been great.
All right, let's go to Greenville here. Quinnipiac up 5-3. ECU's got to get something going.
Ball hit to left by Worrell. Another no-doubter.
Wow.
Over everything, and ECU is within 1. Bryson Worrell off the bench. And welcome to the regionals.
Where's he been all game long? My lands, that ball was crushed. That's when you know it's crushed. You just got to throw that hand up and go, there she goes. And the jungle's rocking out in left field and all around the stadium.
4th home run of the season for Worrell, a utility player for the Pirates.
And this is an electric crowd, and what a great place to have a game. Both teams are putting on an absolute show.
So the jungle will generate some noise for Colin Donnelly after that one. Who's went farther, Scaffarello's or Worrell's? You should ask that on Twitter.
I'm gonna have to sit with Scaffarello, but man, both of them were in the street.
And there's the megaphones, the ubiquitous megaphones in the jungle beyond the left and right field fence. Pulls it back. Brady Lloyd, the batter. The megaphone, always here at Clark LeClaire Stadium.
Had a couple signatures on it, didn't it?
Yeah, he did. And he's been there a long time. Doing it since he was a student in the early 90s. Lloyd tries to put it down.
But, I mean, Johnny Reiser just got a base hit for TCU. They've got 2 on and 1 out, down 3-0. Zach Humphreys now at the plate. Isaiah Campbell has gone 6 1/3, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, walked just 1 on the mound here for Arkansas. Humphreys lifts that one to center.
Get you 1.
Fletcher has it, 1 in, 3-1 now
With
the Razorbacks.
Southern Miss got a chance to do something here, and it's gone absolutely nuclear in Greenville.
Matthew Guidry at the plate for Southern Miss. Think about this for Southern Miss, the fact that they scored 15 runs yesterday, 12 in 1 inning. They're getting shut out tonight by LSU. Here's Zach Hess on the mound.
And the thing with Hess, I mean, it's vintage power stuff. He's either going to miss bats or give up an absolute laser beam.
Matt Wallner is 2 batters away for Southern Miss. He's got 22 bombs on the year. Big strikeout for Quinnipiac in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, I don't think Southern Miss, if I'm Zach Hess, you're going to have to prove to me you can hit that wicked breaking ball.
He can bend it like that. It becomes awfully difficult.
The Q fighting back.
That'll do it for the 7th. So TCU just scores 1, 3-1 going to the 8th. So we can make it a double box. Look at this. We are tied in Baton Rouge.
It was the breaking ball.
Did they prove it to you?
You sure did.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
How about that? We told you this game was a long way from being over. Southern Miss had its struggles down the stretch. They lose their last 3 conference games.
Look at that golf shot.
I mean, he made the pitch. Look at this. This is off the turf.
Down and in. That's not where Zach Hess is trying to throw that ball.
Into his hands, but down on the ground.
Matthew Guidry almost
Off
goes
a knee.
down to 1 knee and finds a barrel for a Grady.
Hess wins the foot race to the bag to retire Hunter Slater for the first out.
Oh, how quickly it can change. Southern Miss had its chances a couple of times to score some runs without getting a base hit. They finally come through in the 7th inning. You get a walk and back-to-back hit by pitches and a large ball.
I'm like much of this sellout crowd still stunned at what we saw. A walk, 2 hit batters, and Matthew Guidry is the guy.
Colin Donnelly with big strikeouts there. We'll get back out there for the ninth.
This guy at the plate right now. He can hit it a long way too. Only 22 of them on the year.
Two and one. Now here we've been bragging about the LSU bullpen, and justifiably so. They have been good of late. But Peterson all of a sudden comes up shaky in the 7th. Loads the bases without the benefit of a hit. You bring in Hess. And Guidry, not exactly a slugger, came in with just 6 home runs on the season and turns on one for a granny to tie it up. This is why we love the game of baseball, and this is why we love postseason play.
Yeah, what a move that was, too. He recognized breaking ball. He didn't get the body out in front. Instead, he went down. He sat down on a knee and just threw the barrel at it.
Wallner waiting for the 2-2 from Hess. See if he hunts a fastball. He does, but it doesn't matter. 95 and right on by. Ben, can I ask you a commoner question to go back to the Grand Slam?
Yep.
You're Zach Hess. You're one of the hardest throwers in college baseball. Why speed the bat up there to allow Guidry to catch up?
He had success. He threw the breaking ball before, right? He got a swing through. And I don't mind. Again, I never question pitch selection as much as I question pitch location. So with a 2-strike 0-2 count, you got to know in the back of your mind, and it comes back to command, right? You got to throw the ball and say, you know what? It's like golf. If I'm playing golf and I got water on the left on my approach shot, where are you going to miss? You're going to miss the right side of the green, aren't you? Well, on an 0-2 count in that situation, I'm going to make sure I bounce that breaking ball on top of home plate. And that's why we talk about command. You can throw the ball as hard as you want to throw it. I mean, it's great to throw it hard for anybody that does, but if you can't throw strikes and you can't throw quality strikes, at the end of the day, you're not a very good pitcher.
0-2, got him way out in front. 81 mile an hour off speed, but oh, how this game has changed. Matthew Guidry off of one knee, a grand slam to tie it up at 4.
Champs of Conference USA are tied up with the LSU Tigers. Another SEC host site. We're here just in time to see Jim Schlossnagle. 22 march to the mound. Chat with his starter. Actually, Halen Green on in relief. This is his 2nd inning of work, replacing Lodolo on the mound.
Well, for an Arkansas team that has not hit lefties as well as righties tonight.
From there, we will head to Nashville. 4-1 lead for Vanderbilt. Runner on here for the Sycamores.
That one gets away. That will get Watkins down to second base.
Man, there's so many great moments tonight. How about Jeremy Gaines to knock RBI? How about the Morganson kid? Who's he play for? McNeese? No.
Who was that?
Hey, Troy. Who does Bobby Morganson?
Grand slam against LSU to tie that one up 4-4 in the 7th. And Hugh Fisher wipes out Enriquez.
That's why you see the big strikeout total from Hugh Fisher. 45 strikeouts in only 33 innings coming into the night. That wipeout slider. Look at the action from left to right. Especially with the lefty-on-lefty matchup for Robbie Enriquez. Just too difficult for him to stay back.
Romero Harris now grabbing a bat. He'll hit for Chris Ayers, who's had a tough night. A couple of strikeouts and a flyout. As Fisher calls it a night. Tim Corbin going to the bullpen. And he's going to get one Tyler Brown.
Let's go back to Greenville now. We're in the top of the ninth. One out. Quinnipiac out of the MAC with a 5-4 lead.
You'll naturally kind of grip the bat when you make contact with the baseball, but a lot of times you want to keep those hands loose, and hitters will lose a bat every now and then. It's not a bad thing. Fans get on you and stuff like that, but you definitely get a lot more bat speed when you've got loose hands and when you kind of squeeze it to death. Or my hitting coach always said, you don't want it to be like a tube of toothpaste with the cap off. You don't want to squeeze it so tight that the toothpaste comes out the cap.
That's a good way to put it. And that's a strike 3, rings him up.
Boy, a dandy breaking ball by Burleson. He has absolutely been locked and loaded, dialed in on the mound.
I want to get you out to Baton Rouge after Matthew Guidry hit a grand slam off Zach Hess to tie it in the bottom of the 7th. Now a leadoff double for Cabrera to right center. And a chance to take the lead here with nobody out.
Well, if you're Cade Beloso here, you got to do what Antoine Duplantis did the last inning, right? You got to find a way to hit a ground ball to the right side. If it goes through and scores a run, perfect. If it doesn't, you move the runner, which is the go-ahead run now, over to third base in less than 2 outs.
One thing LSU has not done particularly well tonight, situations like this, 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Got to cash in here if you're the Tigers. I'm guessing Beloso has not sacrificed much this year.
No, and he's probably not ever sacrificing his career either. And that's a good point by you. A lot of these kids that come to college have always been 3 and 4 hole hitters growing up and in high school and everything. They never sacrificed, buddy. And Beloso's not, but you expect him to do a job here. That's hit you a ground ball. He's got to find a way to move the runner to third base.
If you had a good bunter here, it'd be awfully tempting to move Cabrera to third, less than 2 outs with Watson and Garza getting ready to try and knock him in.
No doubt. But you hate to take out, a hot hitter. Also a couple of base hits tonight and a sacrifice fly. Actually a home run and a base hit.
Hitters count here. Gets by the catcher, Donaldson.
You know, called it a hit by pitch, which really hurts LSU in that situation.
Yep. Raised his back foot.
Saw the shoelaces shake just a little bit.
You see the reaction on Beloso there? That's priceless. He was angry because he wants to swing the bat. He doesn't want to be at first on that play.
Yep. Plus he'd like to say, that ball didn't hit me, move the runner to third base and still be hitting. This is certainly another bunting situation, but again, you got a guy in Zach Watson who probably doesn't bunt a whole lot.
There is number 2, and that's the guy we were told, late inning situation, close game. You're going to see Hunter Stanley. And Hunter Stanley, the best stuff of anybody out of the Southern Miss bullpen.
Going to go to Fayetteville here just for a moment while they're in that pitching change. Top of the 8th. Casey Opitz with a big 2 RBI single here to give Arkansas its first lead of the day at 2-0. Still with a 2-run cushion here in the 8th.
Our game approaching 2.5 hours tonight from Fayetteville. Mom Walker Stadium filled to almost 11,000 this evening. Just a shade under. Count now 1-2. Trevor East was 3 for 4, including an RBI hit you saw moments ago. What next? The bottom of the order is due to TCU. TCU when we get to the front half of the 8th.
Coffin really trying to get in the inside part of the plate. Bury that ball under the hands of Casey Opens.
This is the 20th road game of the year for TCU, around 500. Probably the most hostile environment it will face, however. And that strikes. Good job.
ECU has done everything but lead in this game. Right Hacker left. Going back. Makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Making it all nice.
That's the guy who that is their stud. Ryan Packard. What do you mean? Here's the deal for ECU. One out here. Their pitching is going to be an issue moving forward, especially if they don't win this game. Yeah. ECU's 5 runs tonight. Now, no one really sent them to ECU, but it's going to be all hands on deck all weekend.
Freshman from Louisville, Carolina. And Whitman, the closer for John Delaney, the fifth-year head coach for Quinnipiac. Not the game. Are you intrigued by this move to go top?
You know the reason I think why you do that is you got guys in the game that's already thrown. He's used to the environment. Strong strikes. He's effective. Sometimes you bring those closers in and they start walking people because they're so amped up. I think that's why John Delaney is doing what he's doing and sticking with the horse product, so to speak.
Now he needs 2 more outs for his first save. Right to the defense from the ECU jungle. Check swing. 1 around. Sets the first base on fire. Obi with a home run. Part of his 6 hits this year.
Yeah, you see that barrel, man. When crosses on the plate, that's an easy ball by Greg Carr for the first base umpire.
This one will hit the left, but not enough.
Well, that was gone. It sounded good. It just didn't have a live carry.
Cruz settles under for the second out. Quinnipiac is 1 out away. Van Ness, the play, and the bracket against the fighting Camels of Campbell. Target 4 on ESPN. ESPN app.
And then you get that matchup. But Brian Hackett has been one of the best consistent at bats so far for these Pirates.
Packard has 2 career 8 hits and swing and a miss. What do you like best about that?
Man, he's just a bulldog. He doesn't get phased. He gave up a 400-foot home run and then got a strikeout. It's just a bulldog mound. For guys that doesn't throw real hard, he's not afraid to come out. I'm autistic about it right there, but you gotta love his ability to come right at him.
And that's it. The first strike, the outside corner. Consistently goes to the home umpire. Godwin. Not agreement. I don't know reader, but at least there's some bad words out of the mouth of Godwin. Words that you probably didn't say to you.
I think he might have where he wants to get it to the ball. That's like where the conversation is.
I'm not so certain about that. It isn't a strike.
No. I think that's all. I think that's what Scott's got already.
Yeah, that was a little outside.
It's such a critical spot. It makes that call so tough. Now, if I'm in track a little bit farther off the play, something break ball outside, you cannot throw a strike right here.
Well, he does. And it's into right field. Brian Packard.
Now you might pinch run right here for Packard. That's exactly what ECU is going to do. Just an outstanding at-bat by Packard.
It was. Christian Jane is the pinch runner. He's an outfielder, a freshman from Fayetteville, North Carolina. So Packard has been raking along with Alec Burleson.
Well, the conversation with Christian Jane right here is saying you cannot get picked off with a left-handed pitcher. I don't care if you have to take a 2-foot lead. We cannot get that, make that be the last out.
What a bounce back by Packard after the questionable strike call by Eric Goshi. Packard shakes it off and singles to right. That gets away from Donnelly for Turner Brown, who's 0 for 3. Did send a long fly ball to left. That was caught by Cruz.
So the Quinnipiac outfield is playing extremely deep. They want to keep the baseball in front of them and keep that runner not to score. You don't want to hit anything over your head. It's called the no doubles defense. So defensively, you're going to have your third baseman, Vogelmore, playing really close to the line. First base is already there, holding the runner on. You can't allow a double in that run to come around and score.
Check swing appeal, and it's 2-0. Christian Jane does not have a stolen base attempt. The runner at first. Quinnipiac making its first appearance in the regionals in 14 years. Brown squaring around at strike one. What's his thought process at the plate?
I think you still have to stay aggressive. You got a hitter's count right here. So again, you take the plate, you split it in half, and you sit on one pitch. Boy, he is way up in front of home plate. He is trying to take away the off-speed pitch. I mean, his front foot is almost out of the box.
Yeah, it is a unique setup for Turner Brown, isn't it?
It's a little hard to see right here because you can't see home plate from this side angle. But his front foot literally is about a foot in front of home plate. And that's a guy trying to take away the breaking ball and get it before it breaks.
Drama setting up nicely for Burleson on deck as they walk Turner Brown.
Wow, and look who comes up.
This is a Hollywood-like moment. The guy is on the mound, and the guy has been mowing him down, Alec Burleson.
Now I go to my closer. I think you make a pitching change, even if it's left on right or right on left.
Even with the tenacious Colin Donnelly, 35 pitches, aiming for his first save.
I mean, I don't think we're going to see it.
Andrew Workman warms in the pen.
The only thing is the right-hander versus the lefty matchup that you have against Burleson, but also you got a submariner in the bullpen. Again, you don't want him to beat you, so I'd be extremely careful. I'm throwing a lot of pitches about a foot off the plate, maybe at least a couple baseballs off the plate outside.
Oh, he took a home run cut. And Burleson, 2 of their 8 hits. He's 2 for 4, and he's batting .372.
Here's the thing. You don't need a home run in this situation. You need a base hit.
Right.
You got to shorten up.
Ties it up.
Stay within yourself. And that was a ball he tried to hit about 800 feet.
Trying to hit it farther than Scaparello and his teammate Worrell. Takes something off, a chopper to Dylan Lutz. He'll go to second, and that will do it. Quinnipiac has upset the top seed, East Carolina.
They are celebrating like they just won the regional. And for them, it almost feels like it.
It certainly does. The first tournament win in school history. Chris Enns the win. Colin Donnelly his first save of the season. And they were bolstered by some timely hitting and the 2-run homer from Liam Scaparello, and the Pirates are stunned.
So officially, we have the most unpredictable regional so far, and this is the opening games.
5-4, 5-4. How you feeling?
This is the 6th straight season that multiple top 16 seeds lost their opening game in the NCAA tournament. We saw Oregon State go down. They've been eliminated. East Carolina has to fight their way through a couple of elimination games in order to get another shot at Quinnipiac or against Campbell. Campbell, Quinnipiac tomorrow. Winners bracket game, just like we all anticipated. Quinnipiac, Jacksonville State, and Central Connecticut State all gathering their first wins in NCAA tournament history. So congratulations to the Bobcats, the Gamecocks, and the Blue Devils. Now the Tigers facing the Golden Eagles. Southern Miss had a grand slam to tie it at 4. Nobody out in the 8th.
Texas. Cabrera at 3rd. Beloso at 2nd. Watson at 1st. Another 2-2 due to Saul Garza, who belted 23 home runs at Howard Junior College last year. He's a former draft pick of the St. Louis Cardinals out of high school. Had a great SEC tournament, went 9 for 19 in Hoover. Tension is high here at the box. Pitch on the way, and that'll get up the middle for a base hit. Cabrera scores. Here comes Beloso. He'll score. Throw to 3rd. They get the out there. But LSU scores the go-ahead runs here in the 8th. Garza does it again.
Well, how about Saul Garza? He has carried this LSU team the last 5 or 6 weeks. Didn't have a home run, batting average well below 200. He heated up at the right time, and when he did, the Tigers heated up in a big-time situation. A drawn-in infield, which would have been an automatic double play ball. He drives it right back up the middle, drives in 2 runs. Center fielder Franklin cuts down Watson trying to get to 3rd. Saul Garza in the 2nd base. There's Cabrera coming home with the 1st run. You'll see Beloso right behind him, and LSU's taking the lead 6-4 to top of the 8th.
All right, we're going to zip over to Atlanta right now. Georgia Tech with a 5-2 lead here. Edouard Julien is up, tying run at the plate.
Thomas all night long gets the baseball back from McCann. He is ready to go. Battles back to even the count at 2-2. Julien, Quebec, Canada native.
Interesting how he found his way to the Auburn campus. Butch Thompson has a relationship with the Canadian Junior National coach back from his time at Mississippi State. Called Thompson about Edouard Julien. That's how he got to Auburn.
Stays alive at 2-2. The most pitches that Thomas has thrown in an inning, 15 back in the 5th, is about to throw his 100th pitch of the ballgame. Right now, given the opportunity to close this one out. 2 down.
That's a big, big second out and a big, big strikeout by Connor Thomas. It's the breaking ball again, and Julian can't make contact.
Recognizing McCann, his battery mate. Here's Rankin Woolley, 0 for 3. Strike one on Woolley, who has hit into 2 double plays tonight.
Three home runs on the year for Rankin Woolley.
On the ground, base hit into left field. Eaton around third, being waved in by Gabe Gross. He will come to score. A run across for Auburn here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And it's now a 2-run ball game. RBI base hit by Woolley, and the tying run now on base.
Now, your heart's going to tell you to keep Connor Thomas in the game to try to finish it, but your head's going to tell you to go to the closer in Tristan English, who's the first baseman right now. Good piece of hitting by Rankin Woolley to keep the inning alive. That's Eaton, the pinch runner, scoring easily from second base. Well, he's in there for that left-on-left matchup with Stephen Williams.
Williams 0 for 3, struck out swinging in his last at-bat. Fly ball, left field line. Hall over in foul territory, and this one will land in the bullpen.
If you're Stephen Williams right here, you have to take the pull side out of play. Almost guaranteed to get the slider. Now, keep in mind that if he bounces that slider and that ball gets away, the potential tying run would get into scoring position. But you got to take the pull side away and go opposite.
Swings and it's a fly ball, deep right field, way back, and we have a brand new ball game and a winner.
Stephen Williams, 4 hits yesterday and a career-high 5 runs driven in with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Hits a walk-off, game-winning 3-run home run, his 8th of the season. In a wild turn of events, Georgia Tech, an out away from advancing to the regional final, only to see Auburn and Stephen Williams walk it off as the Tigers reach the regional final for the 3rd straight year. Wow.
Richard Fitz, 6 scoreless in relief, picks up the win. Auburn shocks Georgia Tech and wins it 6-5.
Here you go. It's a breaking ball and it's a hanger, and Connor Thomas knew it. That ball is up, out, and into the trees, and just like that, Auburn advances to tomorrow's winner's bracket and is 1 win away from back-to-back trips to the Super Regionals.
Second time Williams has had one disappear into the trees here in Atlanta. The Yellow Jackets won 2 games against Auburn during the regular season. Auburn walks off. The hero, Stephen Williams, joins us from field level. Just take us through that, the emotion of what you guys are experiencing right now. Stephen?
All right, we'll get to some of that more reaction in a little bit. How about this? Whole family watching Bases Loaded Day 2. I hope the little princess was able to stay up and watch the end of Auburn, Georgia Tech.
She loves the Quinnipiac Bobcats.
You can tell. Just forgot her Q hat. It's a cute dress. Let's get to Oklahoma City. Aaron Polensky has hit a home run here in the first inning. The Huskers had to wait a little while because of the weather today. They're not wasting any time. The Fighting Darren Erstad's up 3-0.
Gosh, what a night of college baseball. This is nuts.
Right away, too. I mean, launched. And it gets out of here. I mean, way out of here. That's over the eye in Bricktown. 5 home runs in the last 14 games for Aaron Polensky. And that ball was tattooed. See if Scott can settle down with Schwellenbach hitting in the 4 spot. 3 straight hits for Nebraska to open up. Or you throw 8 pitches and you're down 3-0. We talked about not having any home runs, Lowell, in the regional since the first 2 innings of the first game. And all of a sudden, long ball back in play. And with that one swing, Scott has allowed more earned runs than any outing this season. Good location there. The 2 teams that were supposed to be
wild night of college baseball. We head to Baton Rouge. 7-4 LSU, runner on 2 out.
If you sit breaking by Oxford, he gets 97 right by you. You almost got to sell out for the fastball. If he throws you a good one, you maybe end up taking it for strike 3, but you got to sell out for the fastball.
2-2 fastball, driven in the air right center. Playable. Duplantis puts the squeeze on it. We're on to the night, and Headwater replays this will have maybe his first shot of the day. Hits record of LSU.
Starfield bottom 8. Now we're to the top 9. Mississippi State, Central Michigan, over 19 games, win streak. That's the longest active streak. 3 outs away from being over. Arkansas also 3 outs away. You're here at the bottom of the 9th, heading to a regional final. This has been a classic. Pitchers duel, to say the very least.
Going in the front door, you're taking on Nick Dole, and the Dole is going to be a first-round pick on Monday, but for Arkansas, Matt Cronin, their All-American closer, and that is Goodnight Irene.
There's a Campbell there, goes for 11 win of the season.
I think Campbell didn't get out of the first inning of a regional a year ago this weekend, and then this year, dominant season. Really amazing what these kids do year over year.
Just a shade above 2. And if we get to 2 outs, this crowd will really encourage Cronin to close the door again. Here we go. Wolf, after a monster night last night, has been held hitless tonight. And has failed to get the ball out of the infield.
Well, it's tough to catch up to 96 and 97. Cronin gets ahead.
Ball, 2 strikes. Now 2-2.
Let's go to Athens now. Florida State trying to put the finishing touches on this 12-3 win. 9-run loss for Georgia would match the program's largest in NCAA